Are you a brewhead? I'm a brewhead. Are you a brewhead? I'm a brewhead. Y'all are brewheads? Yeah, we brewheads. So pour a glass of craft beer, we can do this. Yeah.
What's good, y'all? This is C-Certified BrewHead.
And I'm Tiffany, liquid enthusiast.
And welcome to episode 15 of the Business of Beer here on BAOS. A little something different this evening.
Yeah, definitely.
Been a minute since we've done well, I guess it wasn't that long ago. We did the episode 200 with Nate. I just feel like whenever we do it up here, it feels different.
Yes.
Usually in the cave, on the set.
And for those listening, up here, he means in the dining room.
Yes.
As
yes,
opposed to in the set downstairs.
It's a little hard with two people and it's a little squishy and there's not much room. So we're like, better to do it up here. So when we were looking, we had a few postponed podcasts in these last couple of weeks, which is normal in a summer. And that's fine. And I was like, I want to stay ahead. I'm like, how can we do an episode that is valuable and not just like anything filler? I was thinking, beer trends are something that we talk about a lot, that a lot of breweries talk about when they come on the pod, when we go and hang out with them. So it's like, well, maybe we could just round everything up, what's going on, because there's things that we've talked about on the pod that say happening in the States that may or may not move to Canada and elsewhere. Maybe things that are happening here that go down there or whatever. So just kind of like round them all up and go through some of the fun stuff. First things first. Do you have me to say something? No. The beverages for this pod, obviously, this is not as key than others. But what are you drinking there?
I'm having a Chardonnay from Back 10 Cellars. Back 10 Cellars is one of my favorite wineries in the Niagara region. And this one is called Starting from Scratch. So if you see it, definitely get it.
Yeah. Is that LCBO or is it?
They have, I can double check here. What I love is now they're an LCBO. They weren't really previously, but I'll just check here.
Okay.
Let me see. LCBO Back 10 Cellars. So what do they have in there? No, they have they do. Amazing. Yeah.
Oh, and they have
Starting from
Smith
Scratch Chardonnay.
Oh,
they have
shit.
Smith, they have Big Reach Riz. They did a big push this year, and the Cab Franc. So yeah,
Back 10
is
Cellars.
fantastic.
So if you're in Ontario,
yeah,
I don't know. I got to say it's
one of the
not
best
our favorite.
question. It's fantastic.
Top three.
Yeah.
Wineries, amazing experience too.
Amazing owners, amazing people.
They're the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing environment, just beautiful.
Yeah, truly, it's my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
I figured I would go one of our beers, and I haven't had this for a bit. I was talking about this one with somebody the other day. Oh, when we met up with Skylar, we were talking about it, about BrewHead. There we go. From Tooth and Nail and BAOS. This is a New Zealand Pilsner. Okay, it disappeared. Whatever. You guys know. New Zealand Pilsner with Pacifica and... Oh, I'll tap on you again.
Okay, I was like, is it going to come back into focus? Yeah.
No, this is a bit of an older camera. It doesn't do that. Pacifica and Rawaka or some shit. Something like that. It's been a while. I've been like really... what's the opposite of generous? Like restricting my drinking of this beer because they're out.
Yeah.
They're out of kegs. They're out of cans. They sold out really quick.
Yeah.
To the point where...
What a phenomenal beer this one is.
I know, right?
Yeah, fantastic.
Clarity.
Yeah,
it's a few months old now and it's still just gorgeous.
Gorgeous. Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll take a shot for you.
Yes, thank you very much. And yeah, so otherwise, most of the anniversary beers are probably tapped by now. As far as like availability, there might be some left. We're recording this in August, and a lot of them dropped in May at the latest. So it was a little more difficult to hang on to them. So while Tiff is taking that photograph, I'll bring up the trend. So we have about like 10 to 12 here of different things that we had noticed. And this year we traveled a reasonable amount. We were in Florida for we drove down and back. So not just Florida, but for about 6.5 weeks in the winter. So we skipped a bunch of the winter, came back to even more winter.
Mm-hmm.
Good times, eh?
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of stuff that we noticed that happens a lot in the States that, I don't know, it doesn't always happen here or get here eventually. So that was where I think a lot of these were inspired from that. I want to shout out I was telling Tiff about this in the car. The gentleman, I forgot his name. It's like Greg or something, but he's like at Beer Cruncher or Beer Aficionado on Instagram. I think it's the Cruncher one on Twitter. But he works for Revolution Beer in Chicago, and he always posts wicked beer trends. Just really thoughtful takes on the industry and stuff. So shouts to him because I got some of these from posts I've seen him do. So we'll just start top to bottom, I guess, right? There's no real order. Well, first and foremost, cheers. Thank you for jumping on doing this.
Oh, yeah, my pleasure.
Mm-mm.
Just a buttery delight, this Chard.
Oh, back 10. So, first things were formats of beer, of packaging formats as far as bottles, beer, whatever, like cans. What am I saying? Beer, fucking hell. Bottles, cans, etc.
Yeah.
So, one of the main ones, which I was going to bust out, but I just didn't really feel like it right now. But one thing I've noticed that's happened in Canada in the last couple of years, and more so now, is the 19.2 ounce cans.
Mm-hmm.
So the also known as the stovepipe. So they've been the first one I saw the drop them was Muskoka did a Stein. No, we call it. Oh my gosh, a Fest beer. When I say Stein, because Fest beers go with Stein. The Fest beer last year, or the year before. Maybe 2 years ago for the first time that I remember seeing it in the 19.2, but it was the only one really. And then more and more I saw BAOS and Steam Whistle obviously have leaned into it. This new Steam Whistle cans in 19.2 that came out this summer. Fantastic, really cool. BAOS did like something kind of crazy. I think they did like a 9% double IPA in it, which
nice.
Was like, it's like, all right, if you're really trying to get lit like that, like fucking
that's
go
convenient.
for it. Yeah. But that was an interesting one because I think it's like, it's representative of like the divide in beer as far as like you either like there's been a big swing towards low ABV and non-alc, and then there's obviously the people who want the big like the higher ABV stuff in the larger formats. Obviously the 750ml bottles were around for years that are still around now, but definitely a lot fewer. It's like kind of more 500ml, I would say, sometimes 375 as far as stouts and barley wines and shit, but the larger can format just surprised me. In like a Pilsner, I think it makes sense or whatever.
Yeah.
Lower, like 5-ish or whatever. But like putting a 9% double IPA, I just thought was an interesting choice.
Yeah, and such a big
thing.
baby. Do you think? What's the benefit? Do you think, or why?
I was I was thinking that it was like they're either just trying shit or they're doing it because there's some sort of a demand. Like, okay, the big, like not beef, but the big thing we always talk about a lot in when it comes to say barrel-aged stouts. I like it in the smaller formats. I definitely drink the bigger ones and it's no problem, but I would drink them more. Well, I've solved that problem by having the big beer Wednesday. So I drink them one night a week and then I don't have to worry too much. I would have them more often if they were like in an 8-ounce can. The only one I've ever personally had access to was from the Answer in Richmond, Virginia.
Yeah.
They have these little 8-ounce cool little like weird twist toppy cans. There's basically no carb in the beer. So it's a little odd, I guess, but they seem like they just like sort of screw on. I don't think they've got any sort of seal as much. They probably get oxidized too, but I like that. So having the higher ABV stuff in larger and larger cans packaging strikes me as a little odd, but there's a large faction of the people who are big into, like if you're into barley wines and stouts, like that's like a type of drinker.
Yeah.
They often just want to keep them, they want more all the time. Like even say Bebo and Chris at Third Moon have said, like they do the quad IPA, 11.9% plus IPAs. And they put them in the small, like the Red Bull kind of cans, which they do sometimes. They have people who are fucking furious.
Okay.
Like, no, bring it back at least. And they want the 473s of this big ass IPA. And I'm like, okay. I've seen people also not be so happy about, the barley wines and stouts in similar things. So I think there's a faction of people who just really love big beers and big formats.
Okay.
Maybe there are people who do a lot of shares and stuff, which would make sense. Bottle shares and shit.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing more and more things come from that. And then on top of that, this is kind of actually the other reason I drank this beer from Tooth and Nail, which is a 473ml can. Now, if you know Tooth and Nail, which they're a phenomenal brewery in Ottawa, they typically do shorties, 355ml cans. That's all they've done their whole life. And they've been around, I think they turned 10 in September. And they moved, I don't know why they did this beer in this can, but I think they did some from the LCBO. So I find that there's been a push from drinkers apparently from the LCBO. If breweries want to get in there, they've had to do tall cans. 2 other breweries that come to mind that had, 3. Leftfield, they did exclusively short cans in the beginning. Now most of theirs are in tall. Godspeed, they had to move their Dortmunder to a tall can to get the LCBO. And Matron, they also had to put Janky. They put, what was it? maybe the Pilsner, the Ace or something like that. A few different SKUs that they're putting in the LCBO had to go into tall cans when traditionally they've done short cans.
I just saw this too, that it's the fastest. The 19.2 ounce single serve cans are the fastest growing craft package in 2024, up 23%.
Jesus.
Sales.
Is that America or Canada?
America.
America.
This is from BA.
BA, okay.
But obviously, I guess we a lot of similarities are going to come between the two. So I'm trying to think of like why, even in general, I'm wondering if there's a value thing to that. When you see a bigger can, then I'm assuming the price
That's a good point.
is probably better as well. Right? Like you could just get one can, obviously, instead of two cans, and then you're getting a few, maybe get 3 of those instead or something like that. Like maybe there's something on the consumer perception side where it feels like more value in the same way that people bought like whatever the macro beers are for in larger formats and things like that too.
Yeah, they used to have those big ass ridiculous twist cap bottles and stuff.
Yeah.
Screw cap, sorry.
Yeah.
That's a really good point because I'm thinking of it from my perspective and how I drink, whereas a lot of people do have one beer a night and that's their thing. So if they can have a big ass beer and enjoy it a bit longer, that makes sense.
Might make more sense for
that
them.
makes complete sense.
It's not everyone's drinking diverse in that diverse format as you do.
No, excuse me. I want to try a bunch of different stuff. So I'm not particularly looking for larger formats. So like in my ultimate thing, everything is 355. I'd be cool with that. I mean, then you like, it's like, if I love it that much, I'm like, oh, let me have another one. And that encourages multiple purchase. We just had Changing Colors from BC on the pod, and they had 2 of their flagships. And one was like 6% haze, and one was a like 5% kind of like American style IPA. Both of them shorties in 6-packs. That's how they've been selling them, and people are buying them because they're lower ABV, they're crushable, and they're a haze brewery, so their other stuff is all 473s. So I really thought that was dope because basically haze breweries don't seem to do it, at the very least for IPAs, and those were lower ABV ones. So they're almost treating them like they used to. You know, you get a 6-pack of small cans and you crush that on an afternoon or whatever of 4.5% American light lagers type shit. Yeah, I thought that was fascinating. So I lean more towards that. So I was thinking about what I want, but I think you're right.
Yeah. Well, I'm just looking at the selling, so there's something to it. Yeah,
and that could be why. Because a lot of the times I find that Canada doesn't always look at what the States are doing and then bring it up. They'll dilly-dally or something. Or maybe the consumers aren't traveling or whatever. I mean, it's just because I wouldn't really say that about any other pair of countries for the most part. It's just obviously us are pretty tight. So, a little surprised that they... that didn't happen sooner, and the only one that did it was Muskoka. Well, that I can speak to, at least in Ontario. I'd never seen it in Quebec. Haven't seen it online or anywhere else in the country. So I'm assuming it's one of the only ones would be that Muskoka one. But I'm like, if that happened 2-3 years ago, that's kind of funny. That's not the one I would have been like, yeah, that's going to set this trend off here because it's fantastic. I love it. Love the Fest beer. Muskoka Fest beer is phenomenal. Yeah. Then the next one I see is a fucking BAOS 9%. Like. Real kind of like East meets West IPA, like a real intense kind of almost old school one. So yeah. Oh, maybe Bone Shaker. Did that use like? Nah, I didn't. I think it was just because it was 9% and it was in a 473. Felt like a lot in 2012 type shit. Yeah. So those are the main trends that I've seen
around formats.
The other stuff, maybe I don't know if you jump in at any point if there's anything you got
format wise. No,
format. I've seen more barrel-aged products in cans. So we did the barrel-aged collab with Blood Brothers, Lamont. That is a 12%, like essentially a pastry stout, Lamington stout. It's a blend of 2 barrels that were the same barrel. So we just put 2 of them together and they put it in a can, not a bottle. Yeah. And basically all of their barrel-aged stuff goes in cans. I think that's interesting. See someone like Counterpart, like Badlands, like Third Moon, the higher ABV stuff goes in a bottle. Third Moon would probably be the only one that shuffles around
and mix it up.
Yeah, because I had one the other night. One of those ones where they dipped the can. It was like they put the label on upside down, like a Red Bull skinny can, and then because I bought a couple of those.
Oh yeah, I love those with the wax tops.
Yeah. I had one the other night because they're like 2 years old now, and I had one fresh, and then I kept an extra one. Super fun. And
so did the Answer. What's the
that was the little ones.
Yeah, they had them in the in the with the wax. Don't they have wax? Oh, no, they didn't have wax.
But I think they had wax, but you are right that all of them were in cans.
But everything
too.
was a can.
The LV is one that I was talking about, the mini one. But you're right, everything they had in the fridge was canned. Doesn't matter the style.
Yeah,
so that's another great example. But I'd say it's something that I'm seeing more times. I think people are still with the bottle everywhere we went in the States. Every time in this year at least, everywhere I went, I always, if they're good shit, I'll try and get a bottle, bring it back, sitting up for a bit. It's all good. Everything I got that I can think of was all bottles from everywhere. Like you name it, Vale and True and fucking Burial, and that's all bottles. So the Burial's a good example. They have their 10% coffee stout. It's called Griddle, right? Yeah, Griddle, like the coffee beans. Nice. They are in shorties. So it kind of tastes like Péché Mortel, same type of vibe, but it's in the shorty. Love that.
Yeah.
And then they do like a higher ABV barrel-aged version, but back in the bottle with the rest of the barrel-aged stuff. So yeah, it's definitely becoming a bit of a trend. I would say more non-barrel-aged stuff are in cans than aren't, but I'm seeing more and more barrel-aged stuff come in cans. I imagine it's just like how much of a pain in the ass it is for the brewery to bottle stuff.
Yeah.
When
I was thinking it's probably more efficient, honestly, in the end.
In a can,
and maybe just people in general just love cans more. I think that's why everything moved from bottles for the most part, anyway.
Would you think it affects the perception of the
more
product?
Expensive, more annoying. I could definitely think that you can sell something perception-wise. I would think that a bottle feels like more value for sure. Feels like something you age. Yeah.
But
it's all these small things, kind of like wine bottles with corks versus screw tops. In the end, what matters is that the product's fantastic. But I could see like maybe some people feel like, if you see something, again, it's kind of the conversation about the size. So if you just see something in a larger format in this bottle, it feels
maybe
like
less inclined.
It's like wine. Oh no, I feel like it definitely makes it feel like it is should be pricier and more expensive. But I can imagine from a production or operational standpoint that it's probably annoying and more expensive. So maybe it even allows you to make the can a better price.
Yeah. As you were saying that, I was thinking of Fairweather. They do their Christmas stout is always called Wishing Well. It's different every year. And 2024 was the first year they put in short cans. So normally it's 750s, and they have this big over the top like paper wrap that's like twisted around. That's like I got them for when we first moved here. It's either 22 or 23. For my brother and for Nate, like I got those the best Christmas presents. They're already wrapped.
I remember that. Yeah.
So, but then I haven't really I would only drink them when we're all like meeting up for the most part. 750s, I've done them. I do it to the face if I have to. I prefer not to though. And then last year they did the cans, and I bought 2 of the cans. As opposed to 1, so I knew I could have one. That's a pastry stout. You're not necessarily supposed to sit on it, but I think that could be the difference where you're selling them. If you were to sell 2 355s, it's still less than the 750. Is it? Was my math bad? No, it is. Yeah, it's like 710. So I wonder if how much they sell a 750 for. Could you sell 2 cans? That's technically less volume, but they're probably perceived as being worth more. So say a bottle is $18, but they're $10 a can. You sell 2 cans, you've made more than you would have on the bottle, but there's actually less liquid. And it's less annoying for the reasons you said, because you've already got a 6-head can filler. As opposed to having to bust out the bottle thing and get 12 staff to work on it type shit. Yeah, interesting.
So I'm sure there could be some economic benefit in that as well.
Yeah. Although, by the way, if anyone has any comments, if you're on Spotify listening, you can comment there. Let us know what you think. Love seeing the Spotify comments. On YouTube, comment away. Let us know what you reckon, if you've got any opinions on any of this stuff. Because I think a lot of this is like, we're just like laying it out and putting some sort of opinion in there. But for the most part, it's like, I'd love to hear what people think, because I think that's the purpose here. And if you're a brewery listening and you feel like, I'd love to hear what you guys think, and if there's any sort of just a take on any of it, like if something you love, something you hate, something wanting to try and you're happy it's happening. And maybe now that, like say stovepipes, you've always wanted to put a flagship in there, but maybe you didn't. And now it's becoming a bit more popular. The LCBOs stocking them. The bigger independents like Steam Whistle and BAOS are putting them out. So it's more that there's a familiarity with the audience with that type of thing. So you might be able to move into that if that's where it's going. I'd be very curious to see where it goes. I don't really have any predictions or anything. But
I feel like everything is just more cans. That's what I would predict.
More cans?
I wouldn't be surprised.
More cans, less bottles. It would be, it's kind of better overall. Doesn't look as good in the cellar. The cellar looks sick. And then a shelf full of bottles, but it's definitely a lot easier. I'm actually going to skip the next one because it's kind of like a nice little, we'll come back to it.
Okay.
But because we're just talking about it, is the next trend is a focus on flagships.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just talking about putting flagships in the 19.2 ounces.
Yes.
And flagships are something that we've seen a focus on more and more and more and more. I think it was this, once again, we've probably talked, this is like a amalgamation of all the stuff we talked about on the pod.
Yeah.
So it feels like we have spoken about this before, apologies, but just for the sake of
Thanks for
combining it all
reiterating.
up.
If we keep seeing things move, I think we've talked about flagships in general, probably around economic benefits too. I think a lot of this comes to economics. I guess these are businesses, right?
When you're saying economic benefits, what do you mean?
I think like if you think McDonald's is a great example of the benefit of having like brand recognition behind an item and reliability, especially during like economic times where people might be less inclined to take risks.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a flagship that people can buy in bulk, that they can trust, that is also just like attached to your brand and has more brand building. I think of GLB as being like very good.
We are like two
in that way too. Yeah, and it's just kind of like everyone knows them, knows those beers, buys them in bulk. I imagine, just based on like what I've seen anecdotally. So I think it's very valuable to have something that people can trust, especially if they're more risk averse when money is tight and the economy is tight.
That's a really great summary. And that's essentially, I think, what happened during COVID.
Yeah.
People were like, shit, we get to sit home now. I don't have to do anything. So I can just buy beer and go crazy. They got fat and they're drinking double IPAs every day. You're like, fuck. And then things came tight. The swing back from COVID, it's like everyone sort of had money for a bit. And then, everything kind of got weird. And then they were looking for that sure thing. Yeah. And there's obviously a faction of people who don't care. I think that as far as don't care about how much they spend because that's their hobby. Like someone like me, I don't particularly worry so much about that. If I want it, I want it. That's my big sort of like.
Yeah, no, exactly. Because I think that in the end, it's like there's the you perspective, which I think your perspective is very important.
But I think I'm not
because I think you're not the typical overwhelming buyer in the end. And I think that's what's interesting because I guess if you make beers for both people in the way, like the one who's going to want. And I think also that's for the type of brewery too. Like if you're wider reaching and awareness driven, you definitely should have a flagship. Which also reminds me of another point, but I know we'll bring it up in one of the upcoming trends. But brand recognition is so important.
I think we did talk about that, didn't we?
So I think having the flagship is valuable from that perspective. But generally speaking, people are purchasing things in bulk. They go to the store; it's just part of their grocery purchase. That's why it was so important that craft get into groceries because it becomes part of this process that you have.
You go to
the
store,
you're
you get
buying
your
all
beer.
the big beer
Like in America.
bulk too. Exactly. Sure. Where you are more of the craft beer drinker, which is a smaller market, like craft beer enthusiast to the fullest extent, where you are the one that's going to buy all that stuff. And I think like obviously it can work for people. Badlands is a great example. I don't know. We were just there.
Yeah.
We were there today. So it's just kind of like everyone's trying a bunch of different stuff and it works for that. And there's a lot of craft beer fans there.
It's all about new.
It's all about new stuff. But there's also this other segment that just wants the same stuff all the time that they're just adding to cart very regularly, you know, like you would with any other grocery item that you really are like, oh, I love this thing. This is my one. Let me put it in my cart. So I think it worked. I think like having the flagship is super valuable from that side, that perspective.
Really good point. As you were saying that too, and there's actually another point that about our packaging should have been under there that we can tap into.
Yes, because that's what I thought about the packaging.
Yeah, so we could bring that back in a second then just to tie that all in.
Yeah.
But getting it used to that as well. I found that there's definitely those drinkers, and we've had multiple podcasts. A couple good ones was specifically one with Shahan De Silva from Lost Craft and High Park, where we talked about price. And I think it started coming in as well with Jeff from Town on one of the ones. I don't remember if it was Business and Beer or Business of Beer Pod or one of these regular ones, but we were talking like heavy about prices. Even a few others that are escaping me right now that we really went into like looking through the LCBO and like what things are worth. And that was one with Shahan. But it's happened more and more. So I've noticed, okay, well, the breweries are price conscious about things, the breweries that have products in the LCBO. So they like, that is on their mind. They're like, see someone like Town. I think in 2024, Jeff was saying that they specifically focused on their flagships, on Square Wheels, Outside Jokes. Is it Pills Big Money? No, that was like, what's the fucking
You said Square Wheels, right?
Yeah, so Square Wheels. There's a crispy. Oh, sorry, Jeff. And maybe it is Big Money because that was always like my fave, like dry hop lager. Either way, there's a crispy that they're focusing on. Was that Easy
That
Tiger?
would be in
maybe?
the
LCBO.
yeah. I'll check.
And they just drilled down in 2024. They stopped doing many new beers, and they were just perfecting it. And Jeff is
They have quick one in there.
Quick one. That's it.
Quick
Thank you. Those are the three.
Okay.
The three key ones. They probably got other seasonals
Yeah, they have
in there too.
microdose,
Microdose
light hazy
seasonal.
IPA, and hot knives in there now.
Hot knife, beautiful.
Mhm.
So all of those are microdose have been around for years.
Oh, they're
Hot
out
knife's
of
been around-
stock. Never mind. But
Okay,
you know,
so
you
they're
can get
probably
it.
moving into the fall season. Or
Yeah, or out of stock maybe at our LCBO is coming.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So that was eye opening for me, because I'm like, oh, that's where you're at, to the point where they stopped worrying so much about these newer beers, and they were, they've become like a community hub. They've been around since end of 2017, so I guess they're about to turn 8, 9.
I love Town. Town's
8.
the type of brewery I'd want to own if I was to take such a serious endeavor on.
Yeah. Why?
I think they're so community driven, which makes breweries like, that's the other thing we always
That's why
talk
they're
about.
fire,
Like
right?
if you were somewhere, if we were to have a brewery, you'd want a brewery like in Sutton, Quebec or something like that, because your people in the area will ride for you. And I feel like
that's
Whitby
what Bad
rides
Buds-
so hard for Town.
Yeah.
So you already have this like community love that you get. And then on top of it, because your beers are so great, they already, when someone else tries it from elsewhere, they already like it too. So they'll buy them, and you're distributed enough that people can get them enough. So it's not like too elusive.
No,
I just feel like
to
it's
the
a
point.
nice business model. I like not even knowing internally, but on the outside, I like what it looks like, where that you're distributed well enough that everyone can find you. You're an LCBO for sure. So that's going to be a benefit to continuing getting revenue. And then you're so well respected and loved by your direct community. Like everyone loves Town, and everyone loves going to the pump house and stuff like that. Like I just feel like they get so much love. Like no one's ever said anything bad about them to me ever at any point in time. I never hear anything bad about them. Like,
Beer's
I just think
really
they're very
consistent.
loved and respected.
Food's great. The food was
And the food's fucking amazing. I forgot
awesome.
about that part. The food is fucking
We went for
amazing.
wasn't even for the brew day.
Oh my
actually.
gosh,
It was
it's
just-
some of like the best
to
food
get the
at
beer.
any brewery. I wish America would take note on that with
Yeah.
peace and love. I just feel like the US is like so
Pizza.
much pizza and tacos. It's like
Tacos
pizza,
were
tacos, pizza,
cool,
tacos,
but
burgers.
it got a little pedestrian. By
And by the end, you're just like,
6.5
freaking,
weeks.
like,
'Cause I'm
come
dragging it
on,
to
yeah.
breweries the whole
Where
time. Like, what do they
like
got
if
on there?
we were going to Town and how Bellwood's menu, True History, all these breweries, like
Oof,
then
great.
it would always be like a nice treat because you're like, cool, I'm having dinner there. But I feel like a lot of the times on stage, you're like, well, if I don't want pizza and tacos, I have to go. And I'm generalizing based on a lot of the places that we went.
You're not
But
even
like the
really
Veil,
generalizing that
The
much.
Veil, for example,
those
they
were
have a great menu,
fire.
but I feel like that's more
It
rare.
was a separate company,
Oh, it is.
but
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
they own it in
Yeah.
the same building. What was it like?
It's Japanese.
Japanese.
Yeah, it
like
was
I think it was
freaking
sushi.
amazing.
It
It
might be
was
like
so good.
ramen or
Yeah.
like rice dishes. And
But I feel like we
noodle dishes
do
and stuff.
better here with having like diverse, interesting menus.
I was even thinking Rorschach,
And
because
Town is
Rorschach
great
does
at
have
that.
burgers and pizzas,
Yes,
but
yeah.
they got so
But they have
much
so much
other
other
stuff.
stuff. Yeah. Like actually they had, I think I had like
Yes.
karage
Yeah,
when I was
saying,
there.
karage.
Yeah.
I'm like just good stuff. Like
Yeah.
a nice mix, but American that was one thing that was a little
Obviously Godspeed and stuff. Yeah. I just feel like you can say like, hey, let's go there for dinner. And it's actually interesting and different as opposed to
yeah.
having to go eat somewhere else after or
I think
before
I'd
to
agree.
get different food.
Fuck, that's another
Yeah.
segue that's going to come in. That's such a perfect thing. I think we'll just bounce around. This actually kind of makes this a little more natural. But yeah, that focus on flagships. We'll come back to the food thing and we'll maybe do that one next. But the focus on flagships is something that we've sort of now identified. There's two different, like I get that type of drinker that wants reliable stuff always, and maybe that's what they'll find. They love Canuck from Great Lakes, and they'll just buy that fucking all the time, and that's it. That's their beer. That's what they do. People have told me similar things from their brew. There's always like, this Bobby comes in every Friday and he gets his case of
I love that.
amber ale, and he's fucking. Do you know what's funny? I was in Grain and Grit with Jeff.
Yeah.
And Jeff from Grain and Grit, who now is in Japan. So many Jeffs in beer. Jeff and Matt. Everyone's
Jeff
Matt.
and Matt. Yeah.
Every time I say, hey, I spoke to Matt, just
Which one? Come on. Matt
they
from Tooth and Nail, Matt from Rorschach, Matt from no.
Matt from True History, Matt from that's everywhere. They a dude came in and he was like, hey, what's the no amber ale today? Like, no, like, oh, you got the mild? No, you got this? And he was asking for all these ones. He wanted just an amber ale, and they didn't have it. All he had was some brown ale that was barrel aged. They were sort of in the process of refreshing it, but that's just what the dude wanted. And I was standing next to it. It was quiet afternoon.
It's probably cool to hear that.
See it in real life, because that guy comes in all the time. He always wants that, and they're the type of, because I've always heard, like, specifically for amber ales, if it's not on tap when people come in, there's certain groups of people at breweries that just like get vexed if that amber ale isn't around.
Okay.
That style, and I've heard that from Quebec, Ontario, from all over, and I think that's pretty funny, by the way. And I love a good roost, team roost, you know the vibes. But there's like a bit more of a trend towards, like, I found that now the other week we got a beer fridge downstairs. I already had a small one, but you couldn't.
And already you had the kitchen fridge.
And that was taking most half the kitchen fridge, probably a little more than half. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Now we got the fridge. It's so much better, guys. It's so much better. It's changed my life.
Well, now you can organize by. You should do a video.
No, how much I've got though.
Yeah, you should do a video. I think it'd be cool to see.
Breaking down the fridge.
But the fridge, not the fridge so much, but your order of beers, I think would be interesting because I think it would be cool to see how everyone orders their beer and how it's
how I drink or how I organize.
How you drink it, so you can take them down to the beer and see.
And then
you can be like, here's my day.
That's more of a real.
Here's how I organize my 7.
Yeah.
Whatever you drink, and then you're like, I do this crispy, then I end it with a smoothie, whatever because I see your patterns. I think it would just be interesting. Yeah. But anyways,
if people are interested, let us know.
Side note, I think it would just be I'd be curious to see how similar it is or how it differs and why between beer drinkers, especially craft beer drinkers who have a lot of variety and stuff.
Yeah, because I do like to ask, even like Nate, we already talked and he said that at most, because if he's wild and he has 3 beers a night.
Oh my gosh, he's so different from you.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm like, that's why he likes double.
He's a responsible man.
Well, I don't know what he was doing pre-child, so you're right.
Okay,
now he's got 2 kids. Good point. He
like when does that mean he goes crispy IPA, double IPA, and that's the end of his night?
Never asked, but maybe we should ask him. Mm-hmm. That's a good question. I would love to know. Yeah. Nate probably isn't listening, but I'll text him. Mm-hmm. So I think that's why so whenever we're getting beers, like we just got a bunch to him and I, shout out to our friend Fred who got them for us, but we split all the Masorum cans from the anniversary, almost everything. He talked me into 2 additional double IPAs in the end. He said, you want that? Fine. Because we're splitting them. It's only a couple cans. And I know they're good. And I know Meso lasts a while because I'm a day code princess. So I was like, no worries. But I know Nate always fucking wants double IPAs.
Yeah.
Because he's been having 3 beers a night. Then I'm like, I totally get it. I have too many double. Like now I got this new fridge. I got this space. I had them a little bit organized in the fridges behind me in the kitchen there. But now I got them. I got the real space, and I have to make room for nothing. So I'm able to space it, and I've just got so many double IPAs right now, and I'm mildly stressed about it because I'm like, I don't like. I'll have more than one like a 6.5% IPA or a pale ale or something. But then when it comes to doubles, you have one a night. I have to swap it out for something else to try and get these done. Because there's some monkeys going on.
I'll have a bottle of wine.
Yeah, yours is so much easier. Mine's just
but
a whole
I'm actually
ordeal.
An example of the drinker who I'm happy to. I get a case and I'm like 3 of these, 3 of these, 3 of these, 3 of these.
That's true.
I'm a traditional flagship drinker. Yeah, but yeah.
I wonder if and I'm even wine. You don't have that same expectation of new anyway. No. But there's something to even pre this. If I may say it publicly, what you used to drink.
Bread and butter.
Yeah,
I love. Well, it's not like I never drank. I drank
no, you drank
wine, but bread and butter
was your flagship.
I think it's a great example. That was my flagship.
That's what
I was like, okay, this is a $20 bottle of wine, $19.95. It's available in the LCBO, and they fucking slay. It's fantastic across the board. So that became my add to cart. Where I went and I knew I needed wine, and then I ended up making it the add to cart for at least 7 to 10 other people because I brought it for New Year's, and then everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, what is this?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's just, they slay on the Cab Sauv.
I've never seen so much.
Slay with the Chardonnay,
hundreds of dollars of bread and butter.
Yeah, so
putting people, and now those same people message you during the tariff time,
being like, "What do I do now?"
Instead?
Yeah, what do I do now? Yeah.
Even people message me like, "Yo, can you ask Tiffany?"
LCBO should have done something that was kind of like, if you loved this from the US, get this instead immediately. That would have been very helpful, and they should have done it for bread and butter. Honestly, I wonder how much bread and butter is struggling now that we all don't drink it anymore.
Yeah, just you and your homies.
Honestly, us alone was thousands of dollars a month. There's no question about it. So yeah,
you're not exaggerating. Yeah.
It would definitely be thousands of dollars a month.
And it was good because it was what Nick from Slakey was called a no thinky beer. So you can get the beer. Yes. And you don't have to. I chose 2 beers tonight for this pod that I didn't have to review because I couldn't be fucked. I don't want to. It's very distracting. We're talking. I can do it when I'm on the virtual call a bit more. It's harder in person. Mm-hmm. But I love the idea of just. So all that to say, well, I know we keep jumping around on tangents, but the fridge has more space, so I can keep more than one. I got a bunch of Tooth and Nail Vim and Vig. I keep that bitch on deck. They got steam whistle in there at all times. I love steam whistle. Things like that, I'm able to put more than one of, so I can just go. I'm like, I just want that, and I can just go. Or no one ever comes over, but if they do, I'm like, hey, I got some steam whistle because otherwise they'd be like, yeah, we just not that type of people. Mm-hmm. But I'd be like, fuck, I don't really have many beers. I can just say, hey, have this. I bought them all with intent to review and stuff, we could split them,
Mhm.
but then that becomes a thing. So it's nice to be able to just be like, yo, take some of this or whatever. I'm appreciating the value of that. It was something that I wasn't really into before. So all that to say, I think it's like even someone like myself who's maybe more conditioned to be what's new because I'm trying to try out, have a podcast. I want to stay up on what's going on. That's an excuse, but like it's also just like
You
fun
love
to
craft
try.
beer and it's fun to try things.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool, and you kind of could get. I found like there's a bit more of a middle ground as I've gotten older. I've been gravitating towards the Crispies, even though I know that's your vibe. And then obviously I rock everything.
Crispies are my vibe. Yes.
Crispies are your definite vibe. So, but then I always want like a dark lager or something like that. If I could just have this like some whatever, so I try to keep it, or an English mild or something like that. Try and keep them on a bunch of those in the fridge. So I just can just say So I'm starting to see the value of that. On that, the next thing I wanted to briefly touch on that, which was kind of tied to the first one, was the variety packs. We were talking about flagships and formats.
Yeah.
Now, variety packs. In the States.
Everywhere. Yeah.
Supermarkets. American supermarkets are great. Particularly like in now, we're over the border from Buffalo and Rochester and stuff, like Wegmans is fire, man. Like it's got some pretty cool shit that they have the curated section. They have the only downside is it's all shelf, unfortunately. This fridge is pretty small. But they, if at all, it's just those ones like an open door, not a walk-in. But they'll have like variety packs of your faves. Whatever, Sierra Nevada, Pale Ale, or whatever. I'll buy fucking Two Hearted. I'm having a blank. A lot of the time, New Belgium stuff, usually to larger kind of breweries. Because it's not the easiest, but that's what the grocery stores they are doing. So with what you touched on earlier, is convenience and grocery now opening right up in Ontario. Because essentially, if you saw a pack, it was like, oh, this is rare.
Yeah.
I know that Willowbrook did.
It was only like LCBO at Christmas or something like that. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. We usually with the glass.
With a nice setting glass.
Yeah. That was in a great one last year. It was one
so
of the first
rare.
craft ones to do it.
Yeah, it was so rare.
Super rare.
Yeah.
So like the packs, and I can remember Willowbrook did theirs either earlier this year or last year for the Helles Lager, which was, I remember it because there was so few of them that do it. And there might have been a couple others. Like I know the Collective did their non-alc pack in Costco, things like that. But then Great Lakes recently dropped Canuck and Octopus at Costco in, I think it was 12 packs. I don't know if it was short cans or tall cans, probably tall cans. Thought that was really sick. Because those are their two flagships that we were talking about earlier, that people just drink those. And there's a phenomenal Ontario super local beer that's consistent as fuck. You can clockwork. You don't have to think about it. Those two are always a pleasure. So there's like the variety packs now, because of convenience, are starting to see a lot more. So that only came out relatively recently. I'm talking the last couple of weeks.
Oh, that makes sense.
I'm having a blanket. Who else? I know that did BAOS do a pack? I think they might have done a pack. Collective have done it, I'm pretty sure. I wonder if there's a way to check.
I'm just checking to see.
Yeah, if there's like LCBO or like
Beer Insider taster packs.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, let's see. Let's see who's
Muskoka definitely does them. I know we've had their
what is this pack? That's awesome. Oh, it's Bird Dog.
Oh, bench.
Crispy Classics pack.
Crispy Classics. Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
Collective
Beer for
awesome.
Pizza. Oh my gosh, what a good name. Beer for Pizza. And it has 2 of each beer in it.
I want to buy that right now.
Helles Lager, Classic Lagerdale, and a Chateau.
European style Pilsner.
Yeah. That is such a good
oh my gosh, because you get a pizza
framing.
That
Yeah, that is such good framing.
See the branding, guys?
Collective Summer Haze.
So what was it called? Just Burdock?
Burdock.
Crispy Classics pack.
Yeah, but I
if
love that it's
Ontario,
called Beer for Pizza. It's freaking perfect.
That's marketing
smart.
genius. That
cool.
is phenomenal.
Because in my mind, I'm like, fuck yeah. Immediately. Like, I will take that and buy the pizza.
Yeah, you get it earlier in the day, order the pizza, get that in the freezer. Unless it's already in the fridge.
Split it as 2. Yeah.
Sorry, go for it. You can read the
Collective Arts Summer Haze Mix 6-pack. That's, I think you mentioned Collective Arts.
Yeah, I thought I'd seen
some. So they do Life in the Clouds, Summer Ale, and the Hazy State.
Nice.
Makes sense. Bench has one. It's a patio mix pack. I do think, from a marketing perspective, I love telling people what to do with it or why when it matters. Like I love saying pizza,
make a situation.
patio, like summer. It's like it makes it very like.
What
okay,
beers
cool,
were in
it's
that
for here.
bench one? Sorry, like just
no worries. Bench, a bunch of lagers, a white ale. They're all different. Yeah, a Radler, a dry hop sour. Yeah, guess so.
Wow, Stone Road, Van Life, Lincoln County Lager.
I don't even know these other 5 now anymore. They must be all new.
We'll get bench on the pod soon, so I'll find out.
Oh, nice. Mill Street got the Block Party mix.
You know what? As we were talking about, I remembered I used to buy every Mill Street pack, and I bought it for the 2 new beers back in 2011, 2012 when I was doing the 365 shit.
Yeah.
And they always had 2 new beers, but then the rest was Mill Street Organic, Tank House, Stock Ale, and the lemon tea.
Okay.
Every fucking time.
Yeah.
And there'd be 2 new ones, and I'd still buy it every time just for those 2 new beers. And that was so fire. I used to love that shit because I enjoyed drinking those other ones, even back when I was super excited about getting the numbers. So I was trying to get to 365.
Lake of Bays has a ton.
I heard about this. The Lake of Bays one is the one with sawdust and merit in, I believe.
You know what's so funny? I was going to say, now they can probably put sawdust in a package. Not this one, because this is Low Tide Body Bandit.
That looks like a summery.
They have another one here, Low and Go Mixed. Okay. No, this is all theirs too. This one too, right? Oh, they have a winter one too.
Oh,
smart.
That's cool. Oh, that's why I say 2.5%. That's smart.
Oh, Low and Go. Yeah.
I like that.
I don't see the other one here. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe they did.
Omnipole. I thought that's interesting because
Discovery pack.
What would they do in this one here? Okay,
cool.
4-pack. Yeah,
I haven't seen 4-packs before.
See, I do like these mixers.
This is on the LCBO website.
Try things out. Did we say Muskoka already? I love this Muskoka one with the Detour. Yeah, I remember that with Detour, the Cream Ale, and that makes sense. Yeah,
that's a good one. Summer weekend, like a lime thing.
And then Anderson. Which is nice. It's a lager mix. I like that. Yeah, lager mix 6. That's cool.
Oh, shorties?
Czech pills, German pills. Yeah, all shorties.
Yep.
Italian pills, West Coast, and gold. I guess a golden ale.
I love that.
Lager. Okay.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I do think that's smart.
And that's volume 2, which means I've done it before. The Perth Brewery pack?
What's Refined Fool?
They're from Sarnia. They're fun. They do some silly ass shit.
Okay.
Never had them on the pod. Should get them on.
They have a 6-pack too. There's a description.
They got really ridiculous names and stuff.
Okay.
I like it. I haven't had this stuff in a bit, but I remember.
Brock Street and Perth too.
Brock Street, that's good because Brock Street and Refined Full is small. Perth probably too.
Smart. Good of them. They also get the LCBO with that.
If small, that to say, I mean that in the best way that because they could get a pack in LCBO, they figured out how to do it. I think that's fucking amazing.
Do you know what? That also brings back the conversation about a flagship. That would also likely make it easier to be in the LCBO, right? Because I see we'd have to guarantee an annual amount of volume.
Volume's the biggest problem, so that's why it's worth doing it. And there's something as well too. I like the idea of I get the rolling the dice and trying something new, which is fun because I'm about to do that after the pod.
I love this Burdock pizza for beer thing.
I think we should get it.
I would totally get it. Yeah, that sounds like we should get it.
Let's go next time you're there.
Yeah,
just
and
pick
get
it up.
pizza from one of the spots here.
Yeah, Cowabunga, Shorties or something. Yeah, fucking great.
And Dig My Pie. We haven't gotten that yet.
We have to book that a month in advance. Shouts to Hamilton Pizza. Best pizza in North America.
Yeah.
Well,
doesn't Joey or something? What's the guy's name that was in there's a pizza spot that you and Craig...
Tony G's?
Tony G. There you go.
I don't know if that's the best thing. My Pie was the best.
Somewhere.
And Cowabunga. And Tony G's, there was a bunch of videos and they do this pizza tour now.
Cute.
Which is so smart. If anyone saw those viral videos that went with and these dudes went to 4 different pizza joints in Hamilton, and that was one.
Nice.
To me and my boy Craig, who you guys seen on the channel before. We went down last summer and we got the exact one. They're like, this is interesting. Because we're like, hey, can we get the one from Instagram? It was half.
Can we get the one from Instagram?
Half some other shit. And they're like, oh man, people are coming every day constantly ordering this.
That's
so it was, and he commented and he seemed confused and annoyed by it.
Oh, who commented?
The gentleman who took our order.
Oh, because everyone keeps getting
he's like, everyone keeps coming in ordering this thing from Instagram. I'm like, fuck, what's going on?
She's capitalizing on it. Add me as a collaboration. Add me as a collaboration to that post, please, and talk about it more.
Well, obviously it's working for them, but I don't know if they're taking that information and running with it and trying to get it in the hands of more creators and stuff.
Yeah.
I know that's another conversation as well as far as
the marketing pod.
The marketing pod, which we're probably due for one anyway.
I think probably after we do the marketing OCB.
Yeah, we're doing a nice AI thing for the OCB. So the other where was it? There was another
there was a part on it that I wanted to bring up.
Return on Tried and True Classics. This was another thing from drinkers. This is all kind of tied in.
I actually just wanted to follow up, which is also tied in. Because it came up to me, the thought came up when we were talking about town.
Okay.
And I think you were mentioning, sorry, can you show me that note again? You were saying the variety packs or 6 to 12 packs and boxes.
Yep, grocery and
convenience. And then in general, we were talking about the benefit of flagships and things like that. And I think another benefit is tightening and making very clear what your portfolio is and making sure this is brand awareness again. For example, Town changed their branding. And I think this branding is a lot more dialed in that you will know it's a Town beer now because remember they had because they had more
It was
beautiful
cheap.
watercolors. They were
So
just beautiful
nice,
cans. I
but they
love
were
that.
different every
But they're all
time.
different art.
They're not memorable.
And unless you turn, I think it
Yeah.
had that white strip
did.
in the town, but unless
God, it was
you might have
classy.
not noticed.
Yeah, I love that.
Because
design.
everyone can have beautiful labels in that way where it's like, oh, this is just art and it's art forward. But for branding and positioning purposes, you need to make it very clear what your beer is. So someone's like, oh, I saw that beer when I ate somewhere else, or I saw that beer here. And I liked it. Here's this other brand. So I think that was smart. Willibald did something similar because Willibald had cans that were also artsy kind of vibe too for the seltzer specifically. But they made the cans, but they all very obviously Willibald. If you see them everywhere, you're gonna always know now. Where before it was cool pop art photo things. So I think that's another part of it too,
but it was what the ingredient, like an orange or the lime one or whatever.
Well, right now it's obviously it's white. It has the color of the fruit, and then a pretty obvious orange. Where before, I'll show you. Where before it was say, let me do the Willibald lime. It was someone's hand. It was I
remember holding the
hipster,
strawberry type of thing, like a girl with green nail polish.
So you see, this is it. You're gonna know them all now, right? They look like this now.
It almost doesn't look that different, to be honest.
No, are you kidding me? Look at this. What they were like before. It was always someone's hand and stuff like that. Maybe you wouldn't realize as much. And I think they kind of went here to make it very undeniable every time that you see it.
All right, so now it's a little.
Yeah, I have a feeling that was the goal. Yeah. Although I do love that one, but it might not have stood out. I like it because it's very also hipstery vibe.
It is. It makes it look like.
But this is more it kind of matches with everything that they have going across the board. Where these were photos, so maybe.
Is that their cocktails as well? They do sick.
Yeah, same with the cocktails and stuff too. Yeah.
RTD, excuse me.
It's you will see it and it's white and the fruit. You'll see it immediately from afar and you'll know that it's theirs.
If I didn't drink beer, I think that's all I drink.
Yeah.
I reckon because it's the.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, you're juiced for something.
I'm actually gonna get because we were gonna go and we didn't. I'm just gonna get a case ordered online.
Why don't we go? I want to go have some pizza there.
Okay, I'm done.
Let's go in the next couple of weeks. Then you can get it fresh.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm here for it.
Yes. So yes, okay. So just a real quick summary then, because I feel like we're going on so many tangents. So the first thing was I'll just pull everything together. Formats in general, whether it's the 19.2 ounce cans, the shift between shorties and 473s for LCBO purposes, consumer, what people are liking more. It seems more people want that. Different formats, moving away from bottles to cans for beers that previously were considered just special, like barley wine, barrel aged barley wine, stouts and sours, etc. A variety packs is another format. So whether it's putting shorties in a 12-pack, 6-pack, 4-pack, even we saw LCBO. Obviously, there's probably mixed cases as well at larger bulk stores like Costco and shit. Non-elks in packs as well, like Collective Arts. Yep. I guess now with Willibald aren't exactly innovating on the seltzers. They changed the recipe and got them back. They took away the recipe. They moved it to real flavors.
It's like tea or something. It's even more natural than it was before. It was fine, but I think they made it even more natural. Which fits with the market of today.
They're not innovating on the different and they're not innovating on the different varieties of the seltzers, but they're innovating on the quality of the product. So they're making the product better and they're improving the branding and then putting them into packs. I imagine. I bet they'll fucking be in a pack in LCBO in no time.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they already did the Hellas pack.
Well, because they do I think hibiscus in there. But I would love if they did seltzers in LCBO. So
they do a mixed pack of their RTDs, maybe. What's that on?
They do kind of like this one.
What's that?
It's the spritz, but I don't do the spritz. I do the seltzers.
Is that like a RTD?
Yes, but they're just higher sugar, so I don't have them. Okay. But pineapple spritz, lemon spritz, I don't even know the formula. I just like the plain ones. You know, it doesn't.
Is it vodka or gin or some shit?
They're all always going to be.
Is this spritz like wine when you put wine?
Let's see exactly what's in here.
You can tell how much liquor I drink.
Their recipe. I don't know what make the limeade. I don't know what because they're all higher. It's different. When I think about the 6%. Seltzer, it's literally
we know what the seltzer
flavor and
Can you taste the tea now?
Willibald. So this is it's like a cocktails. So hibiscus tea, limeless, and simple syrup would be, for example, in this one. Gin and tonic is obvious.
But what's the base? What's the alcohol base? Because all those things you listed were flavors, not.
I thought everything was vodka.
Is that an
Maybe
assumed
thing? That's my assumption because that's the ones I drink are all.
Well, they make vodka. So...
All my seltzers are vodka, so I thought.
So that means the rest must be, unless they say otherwise, probably. Yeah. So it's probably assumed it's vodka, or it says, but does it say?
Gin. Yeah. So some are gin, some are vodka. So the lemon spritz is vodka, pineapple is vodka, hibiscus is gin. Obviously,
gin and tonic, gin mule.
Yeah. But everything
love
that
it so
I
much.
order is the vodka
Is those?
seltzers.
Yeah. Okay.
Because
So we
they're 2
definitely
grams
go.
of sugar and 100 calories.
Yeah, and that's
It's
another
very
thing.
convenient.
That's probably
for the
another
time
thing
of
about
the year, for the time of life that most of us are in. Which
That's
is
probably another
older
trend
and
too.
drinking less calories.
Yeah. Low cal.
Yeah.
Did I put? Oh, I'll put. Actually, you know what? This is another fucking segue. We got non-stop segues here.
Look at that.
So that's really the summary, right? And you return to tried and true classics, focusing on flagships. People wanting a bit more certainty in what they're drinking, and then we were just talking about that here. So there's 2 other ones that we can kind of we can maybe tie these different things together. You've got, we're just talking RTDs and seltzers, and I just put in and low calorie beer.
Yep.
Or low calorie products.
Fair.
So breweries branching out over and above their beer and actually making, whether it's now, if you've got a license like Willowball, because they're a distillery, they can do an actual, that's why we were trying to figure out what base it was, because they make whiskey, vodka,
And there's
gin.
nothing like a spirits-based seltzer. They're
Yes.
so clean.
Otherwise,
They're
it would be malt
deliciously
based.
clean. Yeah.
Yes, they
In
are
the
a
States,
lot
they were
different.
mostly malt-based, but I always come back to.
There's very
Willowball.
few
I always
people-
come back to
yeah.
yeah.
Because they probably do it the best. They
So
just
clean.
nailed it, right?
Yeah, they nailed it. They
And
nailed
it's
it down.
and everything about that product, it's the perfect. Like if I could have any product in beer and run with that as a business, I would
Yeah.
probably choose that specific product.
Yeah.
I feel like it would be the thing you could be the most successful with. You could,
Yeah.
It's got so much potential. It's
Yeah.
so sick. So then, yes, so non RTDs and seltzers. So RTDs are obviously for places that do, and I guess we're saying that there's a well, I guess you could put the malt liquor in it, like a malt base. That's just kind of like a flavorless malt alcohol base that you add flavoring to create something. So you could add different things, make it into a malt based RTD that's maybe not a seltzer as such, but maybe it's got pineapple juice and some fucking coconut and like you actually make a pina colada out of a malt based liquor.
Yep.
Or you use that same malt base to make seltzers, like whatever. And there's a bunch of breweries that do it. Didn't you say you had some stuff from like on the left field was like a wine?
I was literally
blend?
looking right now. That's why as you were talking, I was trying to look for the name of it. Let me just go on my phone.
Yeah, because you said I was actually
so
pretty jelly.
I thought that I had a great experience at left field too.
At the Liberty Village.
You know why? And I think it's part of the conversation, like going beyond beer and just overall diversifying your tap room, not just in what people look like, but also in the product offerings. Because I just felt like I was there and it was something for everybody. So it wasn't like, hey
and you
guys,
were there with no beer drinkers.
no beer, not one.
Not
well,
one.
Dan,
yeah, that's true.
Dan would drink
knows what's
beer
up.
because of you.
You guys know Dan.
But in the end, everyone could have anything that they wanted because left field had such diversity. I actually realized in the end, Dan had beer. Dan was the only one who had beer because
out of like 6 of you.
Out of 6 of us sitting there. But it was also this thing where I'm not like, hey guys, come to the brewery before the concert. Could you guys want to come to this brewery? Where it's so like specific and selfish to ask that of so many people.
So you knew you
but
weren't dragging
left field
people.
had exactly. I knew I wasn't like dragging them to something that they might not be interested in. But when was the Little Wayne concert that never happened?
August 11th. Monday, August 11th.
So
that's why I didn't go. So Tiff's friend won tickets to it, invited her.
Otherwise, I would have
and the
never
concert got
attempted
canceled.
to go because apparently it's a disaster.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. I've seen Wayne, thankfully, but anyway, yeah. So then
I've never seen
they
him.
were
Would have
waiting.
been nice.
I would have. Been, I was really excited for it. Like
so. Here it is. Here's a photo of me pouring the can. Fleet Street. It's a Petit Syrah wine hybrid that they made.
Wait, it's a hybrid. Is it blended with beer or is it blended with?
Yes, I believe so. Petit hybrid left field.
That actually comes in because you could probably call it. Is it considered a RTD? Right, it's a wine spritz.
Yeah, or at least that I think it still at least fits in the conversation of diversifying, offering diverse options.
Because it does explain what it is.
With nearly 500 liters of Petit Syrah. Fleet Street flask, which is dried to the. Oh, so they just got the grapes.
So they're calling it a wild ale.
They're calling it a wine beer, wild ale. Yeah.
Oh, it's a wild ale with the. So they got the grapes, or they got the grape juice.
But it's heavy as
so
fuck
not
on the
fermented
grapes.
Grape juice. Is it fermented or they fermented it?
Let's see, 500 liters of grape juice.
Of grape juice. So probably pre-ferment. They probably got it squished, and that's before it's chucked in a vat with yeast.
Oh, if I knew it was Untapped, I would have voted for it.
You still can.
I was like, voted for it.
You can code late check-in.
I'll do a check-in on it.
Put LCI in the caption.
Was that what you do?
That's what
people do? Okay, wonderful. Honestly, so good. I really enjoyed it. And then I ended up drinking that the whole night. Dan did have a couple stouts. But then everyone else was having like cocktails and stuff. So easy. And I think that makes it easier
You
in general
just
for people to
segue
purchase
to the next
from
section
you.
as well. From
Yeah,
saying
but this
too.
is why I like the idea of having those diverse options in the tap room for sure. To your point on the RTDs, and then RTDs,
but they're making it, which is even cooler.
I
Aside
think
from
that's
the
why I
cocktails,
loved it more. I'm like, ooh,
because then they can just figure out how to make it sick.
Yeah.
Like if it's interesting to you,
I feel like you wouldn't even need to put
a
any other
market.
wine on the menu. You could just put that one and then a white. If you did a version with a white wine,
so you got something for each person.
Something for each
even if
preferred.
it's just mixed with a wild ale like that. So essentially
Maybe
just like a
101
barrel
wine or
aged
something,
fucking, or just something just with bread or whatever, and then chuck some wine in it. And you probably don't even have to let it sit. It's
You're
just
meeting
like
everybody where they are at the moment, no matter who they are, and I think that's so beneficial. Where like it's not just like, hey, I have a crispy and I have a hazy IPA or something. It's like I have a crispy and a hazy IPA, or a double IPA, a regular single IPA. I have a stout. I have, oh, you don't like beer? Oh, don't worry. And your friend brought you here, but don't worry. We have so many cocktails for you.
Yeah.
This is what I also loved about the Veil, which I always bring up, because then they had the drinks on tap, which was so cool. Like the cocktails on draft.
And wine
so
on
cool.
draft.
Yeah, and wine
so
on
did
draft.
Barrel.
It just makes it for everybody. So
That's some of my favorite shit I'd seen in the States was the cocktails and wine on draft at a brewery. I'm like, that means they're taking hospitality seriously and they're really trying to bring more people in. And that's why when you're in America, a brewery is like a bar to a lot of places. Like,
yes,
they don't even
I will say,
it.
no matter what, they're all just bars for the most part, because they just have so many TVs and sports.
Yeah,
but anyways,
they really are. That's actually a little bit starting to get a bit pedestrian. To
me, it was annoying.
It's getting annoying. As in, like, everywhere you go with sports bars, like fucking relax, dude. Like,
I'll just go to Jack Astor's.
Right, but Veil didn't. So Veil was more our vibe, where it's sort of like, industrial space, huge bar, just impressive, cool lights, vibes, then the good food, the good Japanese food.
No offense to Jack Astor's, sorry.
I like this one. You can say offense. We don't really like chain.
But I'm saying we're not going for sports bars. We like just talking and music. We're not there to watch a big TV with the sports on it.
Totally. Yeah. And enjoy the products and like whatever and vibe up. Though I do like Other Half in Buffalo. It's a pretty big sports bar, but it's pretty sick.
Yeah, Other Half is cool.
It's like probably one of the cooler ones, because otherwise a lot of places you go and
I prefer the Brooklyn.
The Center Street.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one's fire too. That's like more like, I don't think that they've got all TVs and stuff.
Garage. That's why it's just cool music blasting and a garage.
That's true.
Yeah.
As far as sports bar breweries go, I quite like that one. So all that to say is also having those options. So there's like, you make the option, or you get the license to bring in the option. Either or, whatever you can do, but making people feel welcome and keeping people and making them just treat it like a bar. It's not a brewery, because everyone needs to know that you should be able to go to a brewery. Like the government, if I had like a real choice, I would say that all across the board, all breweries should be allowed to sell any alcohol, without having to do this bullshit license anywhere.
It'd be great if they could.
If just give them that option without making their life hard, because you have to think about it. You got a million things going on in this industry, and now you got to worry about getting a new permit to fucking serve some wine, to bring in a few more people, so that you were the person who knew the most about beer in your group. And then you had Dan, who obviously her cousin who works for us, who's been on the pod. And on the YouTube channel, we schooled him pretty well on beer, so he knows what's up. So he was into it, but no one else was. Yeah. But that's the vast minority of people in that group who even knew anything about beer or had any interest at all, but they still had a good time. They had great food, you were saying too. And did you guys eat, or did you just see people eat?
Yes, I did eat something.
So it was good food too.
And 10 ate something too. It's like pub food, or not pub, whatever, sports bar food.
Sports bar food.
Yeah,
because it's
completely fine.
Field, so.
It's left field, yeah. So it's exactly what I expect. I think it's perfect that you get to go to a craft beer spot. And I think that's what's cooler, is that in the States, everything's like that, but here, not everything is. So left field feels different, a little bit more different, which I think is cool.
Right.
Where because in the States, everywhere is pizza.
That is true. If I go to a brewery and a sports bar, I'm like, I'm just like, like
this is different, and it does feel unique and cool, and it's called left field, so it makes sense. But yes, the food was good too. Okay. And the patio is massive and it's awesome. And everyone who's going to any show at Budweiser, anywhere in the vicinity, it's such a good place to go. Like, really
smart.
I was so happy that I was able to get a seat there.
Oh, we'll try and go. I want to go there. I was pretty jelly about that. I think we're both basically out of alcohol. So do you want to maybe pause for a sec? We'll get freshies, and then we'll keep it going. So we're just did RTDs, seltzers, low-cal stuff, and then next part will be non-alc.
You had okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Was there something else?
This one you didn't mention there?
This one as well. We can do the next two.
Okay,
Either or.
sweet.
Okay, you know what? We'll come back. We've got a couple of
Okay.
different things. You guys won't even notice. We're back in a second. And we are back.
We are. Yeah. That we are.
You refilled your glass.
Mhm.
I am drinking. It's not gonna happen. I can bring it up again. It's half a bar. Oh, there's two of us. I think it doesn't trips out of it. There we go. This is the Barrique House Pills from Nashville, Tennessee. I'm probably talking away from me.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be far from it. Yeah.
Yes, Barrique House Pills, Nashville, Tennessee. Went to Nashville last year for your birthday in July for like a week, which is pretty cool. Went by Barrique, met Joel and the team there. Super cool cats. Love their Crispies. Love their spontaneous stuff. A little tour of the barrel room and shit. It's pretty sick. So I've still got a couple. I'm drinking them slowly. Trying to keep on to them. Can we hold it? Yeah, I get that for. Yeah, you see the vibes. Yeah, you see the fucking vibes. Yeah. So you guys behind the scenes, what you got to do? Document always.
Yeah.
Put it down.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is their house pills that they can, but they have a couple Lucas. It was really fun. It worked out great because we didn't reach out to them. We just went to a bunch of places and posted on social, and the whole team was having a meeting outside and like right next to us, which we didn't realize. And I guess they were checking the social, and they were like, "Oh, it must be them."
Yeah.
Let's go. They came out. They were super nice, and they just gave us the tour stuff. It was wicked. So I grabbed a bunch of stuff to go. Good people. Oh wow! No cheers. Wow. Cheers. Baby.
Sorry, cheers. I already.
Oh shoot! I'm gonna. Yeah, that is right. It is a different glass. Untapped photo here. You know the vibes.
Yes.
So okay. So
I
shouts
think
to
you
Barrique,
wanted
very
to.
cool.
Yes, Barrique was very good. I think you wanted to continue that conversation
I did.
around the beyond just having beer in general.
Correct. So we talked about RTDs, seltzers, and low calorie drinks, and that's another thing we didn't mention. That would be flavored sparkling water.
Oh yeah, that's another big one. Yeah,
Love-
which I consider
love
under
that
NA.
I would say, yeah, that's true. Which is kind
I
of the
started
next
putting them under everything that's kind of like.
more.
So, for example,
what
I
it is.
feel like Collective does this very well.
Yeah,
Collective,
they have
just buy
both.
so many things from them. They have the botany line, which actually then they have adaptogens. So when it's from Collective, I buy the adaptogens from the botany line, but the botany also has just the flavored sparkling waters. And then in addition to that, then they have the NA cocktails, then they have the alcoholized
energy.
cocktails, then they have energy drinks. And then we get into the beer. So they do pretty well at that.
Yeah, they don't fuck around at all when it comes to that. So,
And they have the benefit of also
they do with the alcohol,
exactly,
do liquor,
Exactly. That's what's like they're gonna have the benefit of that
which
too.
makes
But again, I guess it's making it easier for people to purchase from you. I love like places that have coffee, like Trillium had coffee. Did someone here have coffee?
Treehouse had coffee.
Yeah.
Other half now have a cafe, which we haven't been to, called Cloud Cover. They did the beans. So I had like 3 or 4 bags of their beans. We have the espresso machine now, which I yapped about at length with Scotty from Loup-Garou. And I actually want to get some of their beans now and give that a belt on the espresso machine. But now they have a sick cafe. So
Nice.
I'd love to check that out soon. I've never seen Sparrow. I lie. They're the ones we haven't been. Sparrow in Cambridge.
Okay, cool.
They have
Nice.
roastery and a
Sick.
brewery. So they roast
Yeah.
beans, they serve coffee,
Awesome.
and they do it. Fuck, we really have to get down there. There's still
Yeah,
so much to do.
when I was reading the list off earlier today, that was the big missing piece
Cambridge.
with Cambridge. We had a bunch of breweries in that area.
And London was the other
And
one.
London, yeah.
Cambridge
Yeah.
specifically, a little bit of Kitchener as well.
Yeah, it was like
Waterloo.
Kitchener, Cambridge, Waterloo, and thing. All the breweries. I was like, oh, that's what we haven't gone to this summer yet. So we should
We'll be
try
back
to
in
do
Guelph
that.
soon,
If we
though,
skip
but-
our wine trip next week, maybe next weekend, then maybe we do that.
That's not a bad idea
Yeah.
for the long weekend. Yes, we might have whatever. We
Might have a
wine trip.
rescheduling
Have a rescheduling
of our
It's,
Sunday wine trip.
it's okay. So yes, let's do the non-alc stuff. So a lot of breweries are doing those, like Collective doing it really well. And they've branded everything. Third Moon have their, I don't know why, the word, the
Yeah,
name
the
escaping
sparkling
me.
water.
They have
Oh.
sparkling water. They got Moon Water. They also have the little one in the short cans, but I think they just moved that to the Moon Water series, which is a sick name.
The Moon Water is the one we have right now.
Yeah, the the blackberry vanilla, which is fire.
Berry
Vanilla. Yeah. What was the name? It started with L. I can't remember. But they had like a little clown on it, a little rapey ass clown.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
little-
Maybe that's why they changed things around.
Maybe they're like, oh no, that was Bubbles. That was their seltzer series.
Oh, okay.
Okay, maybe it wasn't
Yeah,
like
it's
that,
weird.
but that was still the same clown.
Okay.
Either way, they had a fun one. Counterpart have their one. Oh my god, I'm having such a fun tonight. I had it recently. I think it's us F.
Counterpart water.
Counterpart water. That's it.
Fizzy.
Fizzy.
Oh, I love that one.
Fizzy's fire. Love
Yeah.
that one.
I had this. I remember
Obviously,
you
Wellington's
brought two
water.
of these.
Yes.
I loved it.
Going
Wellington's
on the
hot
weekend,
water,
so-
fucking amazing. I love hot water.
Isn't it great?
I don't
Great
want
Lakes
to
got a
use
wicked hot
over
water.
Yeah.
Who else? The original one that we liked was Spearhead in
Yeah.
Aqua. That was the
That was when it
awesome.
started. Where I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? You know what? We need to get more Wellington water.
Yeah.
I
Well,
love that hot
they're
water. I love
turning
that
40.
sparkling hot water.
So we'll be
Oh
there
yeah,
in a
we're
couple
gonna
of
go there
weeks.
soon. So yeah, I
Yeah.
look forward to that. I'm gonna pick up some hot water for sure.
Yeah. You need like keep it like a case or two on deck at all
Mhm.
times. No one around
Oh
out.
yeah, the Chinook
Oh
one.
yeah,
okay.
Fine Balance. They have a sick one. Down a
Nice.
little bit. That one.
Oh,
No,
spicy.
yeah,
Oh, spicy.
water.
Yeah,
we've had
spicy
that
was
before.
nice. Yeah, that's cool. That was funny. It's a funny
Just have a
name
Skoko?
because that's what they call. Isn't that what
Spicy
children
water.
call them?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
spicy
said
water. It's a
give
cute name.
spicy water to the dog. or
Yeah,
whatever
and the
fuck.
dog. Yeah, it's very
So
cute.
funny.
Very, very cute. But yeah, I think hot water is awesome. So yes, I think that market is going to make more and more sense. Obviously, I'm sure all of us have seen the articles that are coming out that speak to the fact that the general trends on alcohol consumption are decreasing. There's a
Gen Z.
decline in overall alcohol
well.
consumption
Mhm.
between Gen Z, between like whatever, everything everyone's consuming that's southern, maybe even drink less, all these things. So having that NA option, especially if it's easy to do, I don't know how that works, but I think the hot water is such like a nice, easy one to do. Or
These
flavor,
need citric
flavor
acid in
sparkling.
the
Yeah.
and you can just
That's awesome.
natural flavors that just mix them nice. Or
Yeah.
you could do, I think, what Bell would do their sparkling water. They use the like leftover fruit rings from Jelly King,
Nice.
and
Cool.
they would make the smoothies. Make Jelly King with the same second use smoothie. You don't need as much. Make the water, so you're making the money go three ways.
Mhm.
It's genius. Definitely those ones. So the sparkling hot water is sort of sparkling, sort of like non-alcoholic sort of product, but also non-alcoholic beer. So there's, Bellwoods have probably been the biggest one, and Collective Arts, I would say, Ontario, that have really leaned into that.
Mhm.
There's probably some others. I feel like so many people have given it a try. I can't think of too many people who have it consistently. I know we tried a couple for town, but I think it was one-offs.
Mhm.
Can you think of any other non-alc local that we had aside
Are you talking
from?
about non-alcoholic beer
Yes, specific non-alcoholic beer.
outside of Harmons?
Harmons, of course.
Yeah.
Gosh, Jesus
Oh,
Christ,
sorry.
of
Then who
course.
did you say?
I said
Bellwoods,
Bellwoods and Collective.
R.I.P. Libra.
Libra, so that was
Someone,
not
whoever's
local, but
listening,
yes.
steal that recipe. Take that recipe. Go see if you can buy that recipe from them. I'm
Bring
very
back.
sad
That was
that
big
recipe may not exist anymore or not be around anymore because damn that they were making the cleanest non-alcoholic beers.
They were.
I wish someone had purchased them and taken it. And if someone can't purchase them, I wish someone would just buy that recipe and make it because
And
they
bring
were
it
just
back.
so clean and crisp. I loved all
What
of
if a
them.
company like Harmons could do it?
Maybe. Well, Harmons
You know
is
what I'm
making
saying? They got their own- they
great
got
beers
some
on their
awesome as
own
well.
because they're already making great
I mean,
beers
like,
on
he's
their own.
already
It's just
doing
like
it,
someone else
they
who isn't
bring 'em in.
doing it. It's kind of like, ooh.
But they do
Instead
it
of
a
making
different
it
way.
myself, how about I just take this recipe?
Okay, I see what we're getting at. It's like a
So
good
hit
for a
up
brewery to
Upstreet
get
and see
in.
if you can steal.
Yeah, it's actually Upstreet Brewery in, I think, Charlottetown.
Yeah.
Prince Edward Island.
Yeah.
They closed down. And that included Libra. Libra was our
I hate to
favorite.
hear it. Libra was amazing. Libra is what made me start drinking non-alcoholic beers. Period. I felt like no non-alcoholic beer worked before then.
No.
It's
And
nothing
there
that I
was the
tried.
Pale
We
Ale
tried a
started with.
lot.
Yeah, we
and
tried a
then-
lot. Hated it.
Yeah, and then Libra came, and then I felt like Stay Classy from Bellwood came,
Yep.
and we were like, whoa. And then obviously they had the NA Jelly Kings, so
Yep,
that's
Le
kind of
Bac
like it's already
Ale.
going to be nice because it's
Ooh.
like Jelly King flavored already. And then the Bac Ale, yeah, and then I kind of went from there. When we came here, I realized the Harmons and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's just a shame. I think those beers were crisp, clean, and delicious. So I hate to hear it. I hate
R.I.P.
to hear about that one.
Big
Yeah.
RP.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of sucks.
Especially, it's almost like they could have held on a little bit longer based on the numbers I'm just seeing come up here. It's like this is going to be a massive industry.
Even if they closed down Upstreet and just made the whole thing Libra.
I
live off
know.
that.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
I wonder if that would have done it, but they just didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
Or it
It's
might
right
not have
there.
been
It also says
feasible.
75% of non-alcoholic beverage consumers also buy alcohol products. So it's literally us who
So
are
it's
just
not
like,
just
hey, I don't
the-
want to drink Monday to Thursday or whatever. And then you buy these. That's who I am. Like, it makes complete sense. Or like all the
It's a
Gen
really good
Z
point.
just getting into these adaptogens and all this stuff otherwise. So
Mm.
yeah, I thought it was they even said LCBO said non-alcoholic drinks grew 73% over the last year.
Jesus.
And saw
73.
189% growth since 2022.
Wow.
Non-alcoholic beer accounts for 76% of total sales, and beer alone experienced a 23% growth rate. Good to know about beer. Oh, what beer, not craft beer.
So of beer, period, 76% all beer sold
is non-alcoholic beer.
is
That can't be
non-alc.
right. That's a crazy number.
And sorry, in what in Ontario?
It's LCBO.
76%.
That can't be right. That's nuts. In line with the data, Ontario's largest alcohol seller, LCBO, reported that sales of non-alcoholic drinks grew 73% over last year and saw 189% growth since 2022. Other findings include non-alcoholic beer accounts for 76% of total sales, and beer experienced 23%. That's not possible. I have to be reading that wrong because that's crazy. Non-alcoholic spirit sales are up 67%. Ready to drink is up 168%. Do you know what I mean? We're just like...
Where you drink mocktails.
Yeah, mocktails. Well, I drink those from Collective and stuff too, right?
They're fantastic.
Yeah, they're great. Yeah. 70% of on-premise consumers in each non-alcoholic segment intend to continue with their non-alcoholic choices beyond by January, suggesting it's a shift in consumer habits rather than a trend. Oh, because it was January 7th, 2025. Okay. So, yeah.
Talking about last year.
Obviously, there's something there. This year. That's this year.
This came out this year from data from last year.
Last year, yeah.
So the data would be even more hectic.
Probably coming. I think
there's going to be probably
right,
more non-alcohol. I feel like it's only gotten bigger.
Yeah.
I understand if it's not completely viable for every brewery because there's
no. It's just I think we're saying it's just a trends thing. We're not telling people what to do, but I think it's a trend to watch.
Yeah, I think it's a trend to watch. And the next one would be.
That's why I wanted to invest in that wine company. But anyways, that's the
which one?
Proxy. And they're doing wine. They're doing tea botanicals.
Yeah, that was smart. That was smart. Yeah, that's all across the board. If you want to get into the alcohol,
but
a lot of
beverages
people
are seeing the highest percentage growth year over year.
Cool.
Revenue doubled from 5.7 million in 2023 to 10 million in 2024.
That's insane. Yeah, get on it, mate. Get on it if you want to get on it.
Hey, just an extra one to add in there. That's all that's possible.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Another one that's become really big in the States specifically is the THC beverages. Mm-hmm. So they I forget what they call it. Sort of like a non-alcoholic. They position them as non-alcoholic. Like that's what they say, non-alcoholic.
They are.
And you get like but it's a different category as opposed to being just something that's not.
We were buying
alcohol has nothing to do with it.
Cannabis beverages from OCB at one point.
I
was getting them at least.
OCS?
There was a really OCS. Sorry, OCS.
Imagine
OCS. Yeah, I remember buying. That's some lime ones that I really liked, but then the company went away or something happened.
I remember you told me that one. So and went to the store and asked them about it.
I really liked it. And I was gone.
I think it shut down.
Yeah.
It sucked. So we used to get them in Montreal because the SQDC didn't have gummies.
Yes.
So now I used to only get drinks and oil. And then when I realized they sold gummies here, I think I ordered them some to your mum's house.
I think so.
We need an Ontario address.
Yeah.
And then now we live here, gummy gang.
Yeah.
But that to say, been enjoying those drinks for, I don't know, since it's been legal, since 2018, I guess. They're pretty sick, but in America, right? So they don't have a federal legal situation with marijuana and THC products, but it's on a state by state basis. And for whatever the fuck reason, I'd love to know why. I probably looked it up. Maybe we could look it up now. Why are our American breweries allowed to make and sell THC beverages? Some sort of law that allows them to legally acquire the I don't even know what it is. The actual THC liquid, like concentrated liquid that you would just boil up a bunch of shit to make a base, whether it's fucking, I don't know what a lot of their bases are. Maybe they're malt bases. Maybe there doesn't even need a malt base. Some taste like weed. Those ones are probably just on some sort of sparkling water with natural flavors. Like, so anyway, they are just pretty straightforward products, but they're allowed to make them. Buy the stuff. Put it in.
Yeah.
It's sellable as a thing. And many, many states are doing it. To the point where it's like I've seen people that get mad about it. Like there's people who are just like, why can they just go and do this? We're under all of this shit with alcohol. Now everybody can just make weed. Like,
yeah, just some regulations seem to be a big one.
Okay. State by state,
states like Minnesota, Colorado, California allow cannabis beverages with higher THC caps, often 5 to 10 milligrams per serving or 50 to 100 milligrams per package. Obviously, the states tailor the laws. Distribution is still limited, though, technically. Dispensaries, some hemp-derived Delta-9.
Delta-9, yeah. Delta-8 is always the whack. Delta-8's the whack one. Yeah, that's the one they had in Florida the first time we went.
Canada has a federal cap of 10 milligrams THC per package, not per serving, which is different. Oh, per package, not per serving.
Canada, yeah, per package. So every package is never.
So most cans are only 2 to 5 each.
Canada has a
So
lot
it's
of
harder
10.
to win over traditional cannabis users.
Okay.
The sales, of course, are restricted to government cannabis
I
stores.
think the difference as well, if I had a 5 milligram can in Canada versus America, it's
Mhm.
very different. Like it's way stronger here. And I think
Okay.
it's because they use Delta 9.
Interesting.
So we got some from Mad Mole in North Carolina. They sent me some, and obviously I couldn't bring them across the border for the podcast, so I had to drink them there. And I was like, oh, I gotta have this 10 milligram. I'm like, this is gonna fuck me too much. I didn't really want to, but it was fine. So I think it's almost like half the strength of the full Canadian THC, maybe half, a little less.
They just said operationally it's easier to produce in the US as well. Where in Canada we have obviously more red tape, the excise tax, strict marketing bans. Also, when you think about it, it looks like a drug, like an actual medical device here, medical drug here, with the silver thing on top, and then with the thing in the plastic, you rip it off, and sometimes it's hard to rip off. Where in the States, it's literally like it just looks like any can of water. Unfortunately, for some people.
Don't tell the story.
Well, to make a long story short, my friend was visiting, and she was really
in
Florida. In Florida, and she was really hungover. And then to cure her hangover, she was like, "Oh, sparkling water, definitely need it
in a can."
In a can. So then she just ripped it open, started drinking it, and then Craig was like, "That's weed."
No. She'd been drinking it.
Oh, she'd been drinking
I went downstairs to start make breakfast, and she comes out. She was going.
Oh,
you're
starting
she
early.
Put it down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh, you're starting early." She's like, "What? What do you mean?" And I'm like, "That's weed." Like that's a THC drink. And she's like, "What the fuck?"
She's like, "Why does it look like this then?"
Yeah, it's like what? Sense. I'm like, we don't drink flavored sparkling water. Well, now we're kind of talking about it.
Yeah,
so we kind of do.
Yeah.
I kind of think we thought we did, and we didn't really buy it there. I'm like,
no, we do. But if I'm abroad, I'd normally just drinking regular sparkling water. Like
regular,
not bulk. We just buy bulk. Yeah.
Correct. Like the Trader Joe's little cans. But the whole point of all of this is, like you said, the cans in Canada have a full ring cap around the top and this big, like almost looks like a cigarette packet, little tariff for those who aren't in Canada, like a official seal that's been tax paid or whatever the fuck. So it looks like you said, medical product, exactly what they look like. The American
ones,
not attractive.
No. What was that beverage, that big beverage warehouse we kept going to in Florida?
Total Wine.
Yeah.
And they have everything like Cellars. And they don't. I can see why she got confused because it just looks like either alcohol or or just like a sparkling water.
Yeah,
because you just got whatever, like mango flavor, peach flavor, some shit like that. Like nothing crazy. Just but cans were like gold and nice looking.
Yeah,
and she didn't think to check. I don't know why she just
assumed
she was that, and she's like, they've got some sparkling here, sweet. For usually, you buy sparkling, it's for everybody.
Poor girl.
Anyway,
and you're high.
But then she enjoyed it, and then when she sort of like
realized,
she was like, we're just like, yo, honestly, there's nothing he can do. Trust me.
It's not that serious, but like, it's not fuck you that much.
She had just 2.5.
Yeah,
she drank nothing. It was so light that she went and finished it. And enjoyed it in the end. But all that to say, it's been a little bit of a thing. So I've seen that account I was talking earlier, that beer aficionado, I believe. Dude, he was talking about this as well, and I'd seen him talk about it, and I'd seen other sort of like posts making like almost people getting mad, some brewers getting mad that everyone's doing it or whatever. Like it's not seeming to be well. So a little bit drama next to it, like lactose IPAs or whatever. Like, a little bit of like people aren't always happy with it that they're able to do it, and I can't remember if the vitriol is coming from within beer or from outside of beer, where they feel like it's stepping on people's shit. Yeah, because it's like for some reason, like you said, those weird reasons that it got those different regulations per state allowed it to kind of get through. Yeah, so then there's no like consistency in it, and then different groups get mad or whatever. So either way, though, I hope to see it elsewhere. Yes, I think it's dope. I think it's sick. Let people do what the fuck they want to do. Make some. It just doesn't look as appealing here. It seems like marketed in such a better way there, and then obviously they don't have the same regulations that we do. So that also like a beverage manufacturer can't just purchase it and then still make a beverage in house with the concentrate. Based on the regulation in Canada, it's just not financially sensible to do so. Gotcha. You probably have to get the many permits to be able to do it. Is that kind of what it is? Yeah. Okay. Well. Maybe they'll change that type of stuff. We'll see. And again, because they're just selling it through everywhere, right? We're seeing it all the time in so many places. We're here, you're only selling it through the government official. That's website. True. The OCS people who buy it. Does that. But you can start a store and you have to buy everything through the OCS website. Yeah. So, but I think they get access to some different stuff that consumers can't buy to give people a reason to go to the stores. I bet when you're a producer and you're going to submit a product, you could probably choose if you want it to be everywhere, if you want it to be restricted. Because otherwise it's one that people have to go in. So if you could promote it and be like, get people in. I don't know. I'm sure there's some sort of benefit there. But okay, so that was the weed thing. So I guess the next one that makes the most sense is like the food side of things, which we touched on earlier.
Yeah, we did touch on it.
About food, but that was one thing that we've seen a trend, and I mentioned it in here because somebody had said to me at some point, or I heard it, or I read it, I can't remember, but someone says, I'm aware of seeing where people always want to increase the average ticket price.
As you should.
When, as someone who's not a hospitality industry person,
And even
I
any
hadn't
business
heard that
average
before.
order value.
Yeah, which
You
is
want to increase. Yeah,
that type of thing.
mm-hmm.
And the easiest way to do that in here was buy out food,
For sure.
whether it's food trucks,
your
on
own
premise?
food or a food truck on premise. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
I think it's crazy not to have food.
yeah,
Just make people stay. Just make them stay.
and you want them to stay longer.
I know there's considerations around it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like we're at Badlands today. Went to their anniversary the other day. We're like, hey, we're not gonna eat, but it's okay because we know they
got
have
food.
burgers. Or
Yeah.
we get burgers. Or
I'll give the
obviously
opposite
we're talking about
example.
the amazing places, but anyways,
Yeah, no,
we're talking about true history.
Bellwoods.
Bellwoods, Town.
But also great food too.
I haven't been in so long. So
yeah, it's been forever.
yeah,
because we talked about it before.
Did I say Godspeed?
No, be
Godspeed food. Rorschach, fucking amazing.
Park. Flash Lost
Yeah, High
Craft,
Park,
great food.
amazing. Just I love that you
Great
can go
Lakes
when you're
Food
like, hey, I
Pub,
have to leave. Yeah, GLB. I think Wellington is gonna start bringing food they mentioned too, which is smart. Because
Yeah,
they were doing like
small
sandwiches
place.
or something small, but start to do, or they're doing a staple, and a staple is smart.
Yeah.
Because even if you can't say like have a full kitchen, even if you do something where it's like, oh, this is the thing we do, I feel like even that's
People come
beneficial.
for that reason.
I even liked that at Bickford. We got to have like he has like the frozen food that he warms
But
up,
it's
but
good
it's
frozen
from
food.
the street. It's from
Yeah.
the same neighborhood.
Yes.
So it's basically like
It's
he
not
made
like-
some partnership with another restaurant, and the
Mm.
restaurant is getting it from the restaurant. And so
Like,
that was
They
perfect.
make a pizza,
Yeah.
freeze it, and then he cooks
And
it.
it's like,
in
no,
his
what we
pizza
had
oven.
even was like
We had those empanadas.
empanadas. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was awesome. Like, so even that, if you do that, I felt like I was like, oh, cool. Then we don't have to go anywhere. We're good. And then he had cookie quest there. So then
That's
we're just
what I
like, cool. Then we just get cookies.
And the
It was
dessert,
perfect.
that'd
Yeah,
be ridiculous.
beer,
dessert.
dessert, dinner, or lunch. It was perfect. Yeah.
Check them out. A cookie called Quest. Phenomenal. We had them at our event.
Yeah.
Fucking the best.
He did something at Dundas Square.
Yeah,
also
Sankofa
now known as
Square.
Sankofa Square.
He did that the other day, selling out of all the
Yeah.
flavors.
So
he
good
did
to see.
he did the thing the pot we went to at Big for this sick ice cream thing. So
It was
so
sick.
creative.
Yeah,
man.
very
It's
creative.
the best.
Mhm.
But
But what were you
just
saying?
all having exactly that and having just these so even if like that's such a great example of Bigfoot because it's someone who's got the tiniest space,
Mhm.
who's got a great idea by getting local, and those empanadas are made from a restaurant around
I'm
the
saying
corner
that's what I
too,
loved. Yeah.
as well as the pizza from an Italian restaurant. So that
I even had the
everything
pizza,
is-
so it's cool.
we
Yeah.
didn't we
Oh, because the Italian one right back.
Yeah,
right
literally
door.
next to it.
It's genius. Yeah.
So I'm like, that's how creative he's gotten,
Mhm.
and he just needed a probably $100 little toaster oven to kind of heat shit up in, so it's not a big out of pocket expense
Yeah.
for a tiny place. And he's made it where he didn't have a lot of space to do stuff, so he got
Mhm.
creative. It's so smart. So just having something and just knowing that, like, well, particularly we travel for beer, a lot of people travel for beer, so we talk about it a lot. And if you go to a place and like, obviously you're traveling, you want to see some more, but it would be kind of cool to go and just graze all day. Let's say when we go to the winery, almost every winery has food.
Yeah, I love
We're in
it.
Kingsville for your birthday this
Have a
year.
little charcutes when you start, and then you might have a little other item there. Yeah, get to kind of eat all day.
Salmon,
a little
little oysters.
Yeah, a little oyster somewhere. It's great. Yeah, it's great.
Tacos maybe somewhere
Yeah.
funky, like
Yeah.
so. Like wineries, you do that. You go to a place, you'd have either a glass, or we get like a
Mhm.
flat and share it or whatever, so you can go to more.
Yep.
And it'd be cool just to get a little snack. And then by the end of the day, you didn't have to settle for just one place. You get to try more stuff, more wines, more food.
Yeah.
Like it's cool. And beer is kind of the same thing. So we go and like you get somewhere, but usually it's heavier food. It's fucking big poutine or
Yeah.
a burger or a full pizza. I'm like, just sometimes
You
you
don't
want
want
something
that.
small.
Yeah.
And it's cool that more and more places are like doing that, or have some of the tree history is a great example because they're doing the
Oh my
Austrian
gosh,
food.
everything there was fucking amazing.
I gassed it up pretty heavy.
Oh, where? Oh, you told me it was great. Everything
Yeah.
was great. Yeah.
Because like
They
you
had
can,
like a tuna crudo, I believe.
that's what we had. It was
Yeah,
that.
and then I might have
What
had.
was a cheesy thing we had?
Oh, that was like
Like
something
German,
that's almost like a version of a mac and cheese, but it was a different version. But
Okay.
it almost felt like that vibe.
It's intense.
And then they had a
Super
white
Austrian.
fish that was fucking amazing too.
Yes.
Yeah, everything was great.
Was it
Excellent.
basically all
Excellent.
seafood. I think.
Yeah, excellent.
It was super tasty. It was really good. We really like the show as well. Yeah.
I don't know. People ask me
Yeah,
about
yeah.
it. I just had it in my store, and people asking me like, "What the fuck is that?" I'm just like, head on down.
Just get down
Yeah.
there. But that, it keeps you around, and it's like it's kind of, even if you want something small or just like people to stick around longer, and they're just going to drink more. And if they have a layer of food in their stomach, they can drink more. Otherwise, sometimes you might get 2 beers max or something.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 if it's somewhere after dinner. But like you could keep them there all night. Be like, well, come here for dinner. You end up 5, 6 beers. Or whatever.
Exactly.
But they're good because they got a full stomach in between, and no one gets too lit. So
Yeah.
yeah, and just I don't know. It's just like a cooler thing. It's another way to get revenue. If you're able to do it, there's
If it's
like
possible, but it's like we're seeing a trend, and I think it makes a lot of sense. And it's like
Yeah.
if it's possible to do, it's definitely worth it. And as consumers, it's something we appreciate and love for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
The last few, only got a few more to go. Where are we at with time? Nearly an hour and a half. Fuck, we'd be
Oh, wow.
yapping.
Okay,
I
yeah.
really thought this would be way quicker, but I guess we're going in.
Yeah,
pretty deep.
we're talking.
Okay, so we were talking. So let's do the mergers maybe.
Love it.
Yeah.
Talk to me about it.
Something we've seen all over Australia. Australia has a lot of that. What's that word? It's like, fuck.
Acquisitions.
Yeah, where they no, it's like when you go into, it's like involuntary something.
Oh, like you're almost in bankruptcy.
You know
when
that-
someone comes about like
yeah.
receivership.
Something like that.
Okay.
I forget the name of it. I'm just having
What's
so
the
many
action
blanks
that
tonight.
happens?
So basically, the government sends people in to, or a company, I'm sorry, and they get to run your business because
That's
you
like
have
a
so many
receivership. What we
creditors
say here.
that
Yeah.
are taking care of it, and then they get to make the decisions.
Yeah,
So you have to
exactly.
sit
They
back.
take it over.
Voluntary receivership.
Yeah.
That's what it's called.
Okay.
But you volunteer for it. So I
Mhm.
know there's a big controversy with that, and some breweries are doing it. People don't like it. Obviously, it's like a way of getting away with not paying your debts and stuff.
I see.
So that's one thing. But a lot of mergers. So I'm talking, Australia. I've seen mergers, obviously here a bunch.
Mhm.
For example, Laker Bays with Merit and Sawdust City.
What's that? Are those
Um,
mergers? Are they acquisitions? I'm not completely familiar.
I
to be
think they
honest.
sort of like they position them publicly. Maybe we're actually gonna have the boys
like
on
are they considered
soon.
partnerships?
I would say it's an
Oh,
acquisition.
you can have
if they
Sunny
were-
and Sam.
and Sam,
Okay,
we're
sweet.
gonna do that. We've been trying to get it on for a little while, but
Mhm.
it's kind of good timing now because all of this happened. So we'll talk about that.
Mhm.
I want to get that story because I don't really know, and I'd love to know just from the
What's
mouths of the
what's
people.
the actual?
Tell us about
what's
that.
the
Let-
partner? What's the deal?
Yeah.
Tell me the
People
deal.
don't have
How
to
it's
speculate,
structured.
like-
What does it mean?
Yeah, let's just find out what the deal is.
I
Let
thought
the folks
Mary's
know.
going to be in a good place once that TD Coliseum's on and popping.
Yeah, in Amazon.
I don't
Shit.
know. Like, yeah, it looks like it's supposed to be something good. But anyway, side note.
Mm.
But I mean, that's great for Mary. They're perfectly positioned.
Yeah, they really are.
Yeah.
So that's one of the mergers. Yeah,
Mhm.
Newark and Sleeping Giant merged out here. Did I say merge? It'd be funny if I did. I thought I said
You might
merge,
have.
but I kind of been there. Yeah, I thought,
Yeah.
did I say that?
It happens.
Fucking
You might
people
have,
make
yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it first. I'm having a blank of any others, but there's been just like a ton of different ones.
Okay.
Of different companies that have come together in order to say, like, you're going to disappear or we're going to make it work, and you can team up, pool resources,
Yeah.
pool finances, and then together.
Well, I think even when you think
Yeah.
about Lost Craft, they were smart and they like merge with. I don't know.
they bought the High
buy
Park
High Park?
Brewery and kept the brand.
And they bought that thing that had Sexton, that brewery that had Sexton way back in the day.
That was a serious pale ale, and
Okay.
that was a play to do basically an LCBO SKU.
Yeah. Okay.
They're doing it.
And what are your thoughts
So-
as a craft beer drinker? How do you
As far
feel?
as
What's your
mergers?
vibe when you see mergers, acquisitions? Because I think some people maybe see mergers as survival. Sometimes I also
Mm.
see it as scaling.
Fair.
I'm curious as a craft
Yeah.
brewery drinker how you feel about them.
The drink.
Not that I know the craft beer. I'm saying I do
I'm just
too.
saying,
But you know,
from
you're an
this
avid
position-
fan.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
would you be mad if Third Moon merged with someone or
Yeah.
something? You know, I'm just curious. I'm just curious your opinion and your thought because I think it's also maybe something breweries think about. Like, oh my gosh, if I did do this thing, what
Like,
are
what
all
would-
my like top fat friends gonna think, or
Mm.
top customers gonna think of it? So, what are your thoughts?
I think it depends on the breweries that merge.
Mhm.
So say if Third Moon's Badlands, fucking
Or who are
Counterpart,
acquired?
or whatever. Oh yeah, we're like
Mhm.
because it's two parts.
Yeah.
So okay, so beer drinker side,
Mm-hmm.
you'd have to be a dick to be like mad at them for it,
Yeah.
but you could also be. I think it's fair to be skeptical
Mhm.
because you don't know how the larger of the two parties is going to treat those products that are so beloved by a niche community.
Mhm.
So if someone goes and purchases any of those breweries I mentioned,
Yeah.
and then they don't allow them to produce the product in the same way and it degrades the quality of the product, then I'm going to be pissed because you took away something I love and everything was great and
Yeah.
you fucked it up.
Yeah.
That's why people get annoyed. If you want to drill down to the base
Yeah.
human
Is there
emotion
anything
of
you've
it.
seen with beer where that happened?
Yeah.
Curious because of the major ones. I'm just thinking like when AB and Bev comes in, for example.
Yeah, they fuck everything up.
Okay.
Like everyone knows. I
Yeah.
love Mill Street. We had Steve.
Yeah.
Steve from Harmons was the
Yeah.
original founder of Mill Street. They changed everything for me. Mill
Mm.
Street were probably my biggest influence, I would say, over anybody else in Ontario as a beer drinker. How
They got me
excited
into
I
beer.
was. You too, right?
Organic,
Exactly.
Mill Street Organic,
Yep.
then Tank House,
Yep.
and you kind of hang out from there. And BOS.
Both too
Love
as well.
Tread.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
true. Mill Street, the quality, I think anyone can admit, you scaled it up so much. It's very difficult to maintain it. Every time we have it a lot because Mill Street's the only thing available at most concert venues.
Yeah.
At Cobblestone
Oh,
Stout,
yes,
at
true,
Naomi
yeah.
Sharon.
But is that because of the acquisition? Why they're able because they're able to do it?
So they're in all the venues because they were bought by Molson, I guess.
Yeah.
And they were the quality is just I don't know which one. I imagine it's Molson.
Yeah.
The quality is not the same. It's just not, like, you can't pretend that it is. It's not horrible, but they didn't, because it's now a company who's doing it for a bottom line, right? And beer, unfortunately, good beer isn't the greatest thing for a bottom line as far as what the market will pay for it.
Yeah.
And all the expensive shit you put in it. And now some lagers are costing fucking $7 or whatever. Like, I paid probably that for a lager before.
The cost should be down.
Well,
of the product, because
if you're making small batch and you're using
able
high quality shit,
yeah.
But that's what the problem. As you scale, it's hard because the cost by economies of scale should technically go down, but they don't go down that much. You can get them down a lot more if you reduce the amount of ingredients or use a lower quality ingredients. So when you're at Molson buying Mill Street, they're just going to be at the end of the day, someone is going to be busting their cost driven. They're going to be busted. Someone's balls going to be busted to bring those costs down. End of story. So you can't. Yeah. It's just how corporations work. So you're going to have to mitigate that, and you're going to try and the fucking brewers are now going to be all right. Now you got to work with this to make it taste as good as possible. Fuck, okay. Now I got to figure that out how to make it go, and it just is what it is. And then like cool, the average beer drinker who that's aimed at will probably be okay with it. The fans originally, who are fewer, they're disregarding the fewer to get the larger thing. Yeah, can't blame them from an entrepreneur side. I'm like, I ain't mad. I'd do the same thing if I didn't care about it.
Oh, for sure. If I had a brewery and then somebody wanted to buy it, as long as it wasn't like AB and Bev or something when I knew was going to ruin it, I'll definitely merge. Because you just get large, it means you're going to get scale. It means you buy this many hops, I buy this many hops. Now we get buy this many hops at the price, etc. Yeah. You can just create partnerships.
And you're not supposed to, but from what I don't know.
Never mind.
But people know. Apparently not. I heard they don't love it.
Okay,
but that's what I mean.
Whatever.
So you just from them.
Do thing is genius. So smart.
If you were smart enough to do it, I think
you get customers. You get customers.
Like, they figure out a way around it.
Yeah.
I think that you could have them if your businesses are in trouble, but someone can either purchase and they have enough capital to get you out of that trouble and be like, all right, we squash those debts, bring and pool all our resources, and then you split everything. You have agreements and And if you got someone you trust and who's cool, then sick, that could be awesome. Yeah. Or you could do partnerships. You could just team together to buy ingredients and be like, let's just now, instead of buying a little bit each, we're all buying a lot. Yeah. So we had to get it at a cheaper rate. Yeah. Then you can bring costs of your products down. Yeah. Because you can get things cheaper. So that all comes back to the original price stuff. Yeah.
Because prices are probably the main benefit. Well, obviously,
one of the big barriers.
Just falling apart, and you need somebody to. Again, I wish somebody would have bought Libra. Part of even if they get Upstreet in general, somebody would have bought Libra. That would have been amazing. Because I did double check. It was just like creditors, and they had like a plan. The plan wasn't approved to be able to sustain. Unfortunately, Upstreet /
from Upstreet's one. Okay.
Okay, so for you, it's fine as long as the product stays intact.
So I was yapping. I think I went on 10. So I asked, and he'll talk about it. I asked Sam from Goddess on the day that I heard about the merger. I'm like, what's happening? He's like, they are maintaining, and he'll tell me if this has changed or not. But he said at the time that they're going to be brewing their beer. So I'm like, sweet. As long as your team, Alex and Brent,
it makes Lake of Bays even better if they have even better breweries that even get to. I'd be like, hey, can you brew
all the gentleman we met too at Niagara College?
Oh yeah,
he looked at Lake of Bays and he knew everybody. Yeah, he knew Alex, he knew everybody.
He knew Jimbo, or no, he didn't get to meet Sam. He knew Jimbo. And yeah.
So he's brewing with him. So the Sawdust people are going to help. It's a win-win because even though Lake of Bays are not arguably easily the largest partner of the three. They will have resources that now it's going to make Sawdust City be able to do cool as shit.
Yeah, and expand, be further.
Exactly. And it's not a macro brewery, it's just a bigger company. So it's not a bad thing to sell to someone like this.
No, that's why I think that's the better case scenario is that it's another brewery who still cares about beer and it makes sense. For whatever reason it happens, you'll find out why. Like I don't know what the decision is based off of, but that is the best case scenario in my opinion.
A larger craft brewery buying a smaller craft brewery with no major macro.
If someone's going to sell it, there's going to be an acquisition. It's like, hey, at least let it be someone who's not like just make it cheap and scale. Like you want it to be someone who's like, I care about beer. They're entrepreneurial enough to know that every great business, Amazon, Meta, whatever, thrives when they purchase competitors.
And bring it to a larger audience.
Yeah.
So that was the merge. So overall,
but I do want to. So I get it. So you think it's great. I think it's a cool idea in general and makes sense from a scaling position. And then in the end, it's probably not going to, I want everyone to maintain their own independence and their own integrity and do whatever job that they want or have their own business. We're never selling, for example, our own businesses. But I want people to never feel like it's a bad thing to do that, because if it helps you scale up, it helps increase your distribution, it increases your overall brand awareness and marketing reach, whatever it might be to help you maintain the business you love or take you from one level to the next level. I don't think that's a bad thing at all.
Thank you. I agree wholeheartedly. I think that is a logical business owner take. And I think a lot of the people who don't see it are maybe people who don't participate in business and maybe don't, and so invested emotionally in beer that you don't see it as a business soon. You do have to remember there's a balance between it. You want it to exist. These guys got to make money. Yeah. Shit's pretty fucking rough.
The best case scenarios, though, is that you do keep, like, say, for example, Poppy, which is a drink we still have never had. Now that I know the story, I'll actually listen. Poppy, a woman who wanted to have a baby. Obviously, sodas, all that shit are garbage for you. She wants something that like makes you even better at being fertile or whatever. Right. She makes Poppy. It's with apple cider vinegar. Her and her husband tag team it, slay it. They get Whole Foods, blah 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 blah. Pepsi comes in and buys them for $1.85 billion. Amazing. They kept her on as an advisor.
That's smart.
It's also kind of like how even when Twitter was sold, Twitter kept what's the guy's name again?
Jack
Dorsey. Jack Dorsey stays on. I think that's the least that you do to protect. Even if I was purchasing something, I would want to keep so even Poppy, she technically relieved her contract, but she stayed on as a consultant afterwards, which made more money in the end because she was like, "Hey, I'm coming in as a consultant."
I wouldn't want that.
But of course,
you have to do anything, but you make sure that it fucking brand.
And it's like, hey, I have a brand, and I don't want there to be this jarring shift.
I'm glad I got the money.
Quality of product or how the audience feels. It's still your baby that you created. So it's like if people are purchasing, it's like I would just hope that they are like, "Oh, I'm going to stay on board to make sure though that like everything's integrity of my name of what I built." Keep the integrity of the brand. But okay, cool.
It's fucking awesome. So that's what I think most beer fans will care about, is to keep the product the same. And once again, the lake-based sawdust merit situation is the best case with
Merit's there, it's still Merit.
Right. And everyone's run by the same people. Like everyone's staying in because it's just it's not like, because if it was like someone like Anheuser-Busch or whatever, and either or Labatt or whatever, they'll bring their corporate structures and immediately change the way it works, fundamentally changing the company. You can't make it the same company as soon as you bring that element into it. And I imagine that's what probably happens, because if it makes sense, you got to build into their corporate structure. I would imagine. Or they're just going to take your own recipe and they'll go and do it at scale, and then it won't be the same, and fans will be like, that's typically how it's on every time. Everything that's sort of been scaled, even New Belgium got bought up. I haven't had this stuff in a bit, but apparently people aren't the happiest with the quality of the product as well. I don't know if they got bought out by like a devil type of multinational, but like a pretty large company that has changed the beer. So if you're able to keep that shit the same, I think that'd be cool. But seeing that, anyway, a lot of trends, mergers, more than buyouts, mergers are the one. So they considered mergers, but they're really a larger company buying a small company for the most part that are just the words. Changed up there. Two last trends we have. The themed drops. I think that's a good one to talk about. So did you have a point on this from the last thing? Or this is
I was just looking at Pepsi stock. Okay, but no, it's completely irrelevant to this conversation.
I wasn't sure if I was like, it was there because you needed
to
mention it, because I know we talked about it. Did we talk about Pepsi before for some reason?
I just talked about how Pepsi purchased Poppy.
Okay, that's why. Gotcha.
This is irrelevant to this conversation.
Understood. Right, if you want to cut some
I was just taking a look.
So the themed drop. So I feel like that's something the Americans did first. Like I don't really know who, but I remember the first ones I probably saw do it here would have been maybe Meso or fucking Badlands or Third Moon or something like that. Like it wasn't that long ago. Basically themed out of like drops. Typically say anniversary every year, and you'll have sorry, either anniversary
His
drops
anniversary
or
was last year,
themed
no? Or
drops.
themed drops. Okay.
The Meso one we just got was in July. That was the sixth anniversary.
Yeah, because it had all the A6 something
A6
when I was buying it
A6.
for you. Yeah.
Yes, it did. I was driving and the drop came. I'm like, fuck, I gotta get there. So they were the first ones. So basically, it's like one of every style almost, at least, and they're almost all collabs.
So all my friends had that one too.
Correct.
Quebec one.
Everyone's doing it. So, so there's two things. There's anniversary drops. So Meso did that. Badlands in August. They do their drop. I think 8 years. I think he had like there was 4 stouts and there was like 6 beers, I think. Oh, excuse me. Oh, hey. Maybe some triples, some doubles, singles, whatever. Third Moon, from there, we had With the Cops as a part of that one. They had they had everything from bottle, a couple barrel aged bottles. I think they had Time Takes Time, the blend, which is 6th version 5, I want to say. A bunch of I think they even had the crispy in there. They had all pale ales, like IPAs, double, triple, a whole lot. So counterpart, same deal. So that's the anniversary drop. Most places would do that and drop something.
Yeah.
I don't know where that started, but that's becoming more and more of a trend, and I'm loving it. For example, Friday we went to Flux in Scotland for their anniversary, their 5th anniversary. And we hung out with Skylar there. Shouts to Skylar, champion. And we went specifically because they had their 3 anniversary drops. They had collab lager with Wishbone and Concession Road, the haze with Third Moon, which was my primary motivation, and then they had a grape sour with Stockyards.
Oh, everyone was drinking that.
Yeah. It looks so sick. All of them, fucking fantastic. I already love Lux anyway, and I knew it was going to be great. But they're not the type of brewery typically that I had seen in the past really make a larger deal about something like that before. And I was like, sick. This is great. This made me want to go and check it out and drink it there fresh all on that weekend. I got to have them all back. It was kind of cool that it was like 3 and not like 12.
Yeah.
So you could actually cool, I could go there and I had all those beers.
Yeah.
And it wasn't too much to drive because they're not big pours.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. I really enjoyed doing that. So they're all the anniversaries. So more breweries are doing them. Then you've got what you were talking about with the theme drops.
Yeah. Which I loved because I'm already part of the terpene drop for BAOS.
420
with all my friends, spectacular.
With chemistry.
I think that's so fun. And I also noticed, which I guess is going to come to the next one soon pretty much as well, but I like that Flow Fest by Counterpart had the beers that were also themed in a way, but all for the festival. So
it had word flow and all the.
It had, and then didn't Willowball do a festival that was all freestyle?
Oh, freestyle Haus.
Freestyle Haus. I like these marketing. It's great. I think it's genius. I think it's so smart, and I love how creative and interesting people are being. And I think it matters even more when you can attach an in-person experience to it. Because IRL is going to be more and more important. It's
probably another trend.
1, coming off COVID, but 2, entering a world of automation. These IRL experiences and experiential marketing in general has always been something for a reason, because people will crave that whole. It makes things feel new. Just saying hey, I released a beer is one thing, but hey, come try it, come talk to these people, or here's the theme around it. It just makes it more fun, interesting, and I think it's a smart approach. So yeah, I thought the themed beers are cool as fuck.
The Nosemis Quebecois from all my friends they did 5 beers with Quebec breweries.
Yes.
So that's the theme. They also do the Friendsgiving, so the Canadian Thanksgiving.
Cute.
They do all collabs.
Yep.
Third Moon does Halloween drop.
Oh yeah,
every year they drop 12
and that's so
ridiculous
brand
beers
because they're so
dark.
Yeah,
it's money.
Very on brand.
It's always fire. So now I'm gearing for that one. I'm
even
sure
Select, I think is cool.
From that lens,
I think even when you focus on something that might be hop specific or things like that, it's just interesting. I think having a theme to something is just so much more.
So does a Saint John.
Valuable, interesting. Oh, do they? Okay,
Saint John and a Christmas one.
Cute.
Anniversary Saint John, Christmas are the main ones that they do. There might be one more. And they call it Christmas 12 Days of Death or something like that.
Okay. Awkward.
Yeah. Well,
it's on theme, but I'd be damn.
Yeah. Savage. Crazy. Who else does them? I feel they're Four Origins did a bunch this year for their anniversary. But anyway, it's becoming a pretty. Sorry, no, they were talking about anniversary. There was all the fun ones. I was thought more because they're nearby each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, so a lot more of those fun theme drops like the Terptacular in April and there seems to be going which is kind of a tie to the next one. Blood Brothers on the over the tap drops. hops.
Oh yeah.
So they'll go and make a fuck ton of beers for their festival, like we did for ours.
I love that. Yeah. Which I think takes us into your other trend, which is brewery-run festivals.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We're not a brewery, but we're, I'd say, curators.
Yes.
Like that festival was a curation.
Yes, it was.
I think Over the Tap is amazing. I think Flow Fest is amazing. What Williball did with the freestyle is amazing. I don't think anyone is better to create a festival than an absolute beer lover, whether it be a brewery owner or somebody who's just really involved in beer, period. Like, and I don't mean it any shade of anyone else who creates these like merged festivals or whatever, or like
a separate independent festival.
Yeah, or like Toronto Festival of Beer, all those types of things. It's just like there's something about someone who loves like a playlist from someone who loves a genre of music. Obviously, I'm gonna just trust you and want to hear you do it more than someone else. That's why Food or You Need was such a beautiful experience back then in 2019. We still talk about it 6 years later. 2018, look how long ago that was. And we still talk about it because it was like it was these lovers of beer with connections that brought all the best things to you under the sun and ready to drive it over. Like we drove shit over for the 10th anniversary. So yeah, I think the brewery festivals, in my opinion, the brewery run festival is the only way a festival should be run. Yeah. And as a tourism board, I would just be trying to get breweries to run it and fund them and try to get our people in, like try to get a restaurant vendor in or some activity or something like that helps benefit another business.
Like work with every brewery to throw their own festival.
Yeah. Or at least work with a collection of breweries. Like I think I think Flow Fest makes exactly. That's I think Flow Fest makes perfect sense to me.
It was the local Niagara Falls government, whatever city, who had this event space called the Exchange, and they wanted to get it known, and people. It was cool, chill, it was easy to park at, plenty of space. Like, I liked it a lot.
And I'm assuming they take care of Grain and Grit. Remember they had one too.
Festival.
I think it's probably, and again, not knowing the economics, it sold out. So did ours. That's what
and they
beer people.
Sold out too. Exactly, because there's not a lot of them. But the ones that are doing it were killing it. Flow Fest was packed. Badlands the anniversary. Select. We went to Select, I think, this year as well. Rand.
Yeah. That's his own festival, not a curated festival.
That's his own one. Yeah.
Not a curation.
But that's what we're talking about.
Oh yeah, brewery-run in general.
Oh yeah, just brewery. Even if it's their own thing, that's their own brewery-run festival / more event. Yeah. Like for the theme drop, I guess it kind of.
That's why Liquid Arts was so sick.
Liquid Arts was incredible. From Collective. The one where I've got a contest running as of right now, but it'll be drawn by the time the pod comes up. But with Great Lakes for their Brewed Feud next weekend, long weekend. Yeah, they got their festival with like 12 breweries. Yeah, they're bringing in, which is awesome, to Etobicoke. They had the Wellington 40th anniversary. I guess that's the anniversary one in a couple of weeks, and then. I don't know if I can talk about it yet because I don't know if it's been announced, but okay. Yeah. But yeah, different brewery focus, just in case. I don't know. I can't remember what the rules were, so I'd rather not say it. It seems to be something that's much more common. Or you got like, I guess, to the brewery run festivals, or then like people like us who would like put something together that's a little bit more of a.
That was like a celebration of all the.
It was still an anniversary thing.
Yeah. But you're right. It's run by beer enthusiasts.
It's like
so it's not a
full beer by beer enthusiasts. Full beer
and Over the Tap is a fantastic example. People lose their mind and Over the Tap.
People lose their shit because these are just beer nerds too. All the brewery owners and people who are organizing them are just like all of us, right? We're all.
And I assume, but I'm not sure. But I assume, and someone could correct us for this, that they economically provide their brewery friends with better deals than a general festival.
I believe so. They're not trying to like milk nobody.
Yeah, like
I've never heard anyone bitch.
Yeah, whether I know some people do you have to pay in general.
Yeah, imagine
but
most
maybe
of these
those ones it's like you didn't pay to get BAOS's festival or something. You know what I mean? So I'm like, maybe in the end they do something where you don't pay, or maybe you pay the minimum or something. I don't know. Where I feel like when we've talked to brewers before, they said, yeah, you pay the thing, you send in the staff, and blah, blah. And then, you could be like, it's full brand awareness. You spend like $3,000 or $4,000 or something. I don't know. It's probably a far more of an investment where maybe the friends of each other give each other better deals. So like maybe it works in their benefit even. This is just an assumption. I have no idea, but maybe versus like a larger organization doing it, if it's like breweries doing it with their friends, they take their better deals.
Just hook it up because it's not always a money making thing, and you know that the other breweries
it's kind of like in the end, overall, it's an awareness play.
Yeah,
and it's going to be better for everybody. Even when we think about collaborations, the value of these collaborations is that you are exposing yourself to a full other audience who's already primed and likely to love you. So it's like the best, warmest lead you can have for your own sales and your own business. So I'm assuming a lot of the times, and again, assumptions all around, that they probably do better deals for each other when it's brewery run and they're working between each other. Or maybe at least not as hard ass on each other, payments. I don't know. But again, it probably feels like the better thing to do, versus like a corporation out of someone from somewhere else comes and it's just an event that they do when they ask you all to come. I feel like they might charge you for that.
No, those are all because I was what else with those
or charge more for that. Sorry, because they're just like you get visibility. Where maybe you're with your friends, you're a bit different, or you do collabs. So then in the end, it's just cool. We're all doing our collabs in this event, so it's a bit different. So,
and they're often very curated. Speaking of that, and there's like an element you can trust. If Counterpart's going to throw an event, I know who they do collabs with. I know the type of beer they make. I know who they're friends, whatever. I know each other or inspired by it. So I'm like, oh, this is not going to be bad. It's going to be awesome. Because I know that
and you had the time of your life. You had a great time.
So I didn't even get to get lit. But I was talking to so many people. It was amazing. I couldn't believe it. It was really cool. But the knowing that every brewery there was fire. Yeah. And it was personally curated by someone who.
That's why I didn't go. You're gonna have so many people there that you love and know. So I'll be here working.
You'll be good.
I'll work and you can enjoy that.
It was a good time. A great time. Yeah, I didn't get 2 seconds to fucking do anything. It was great.
Yeah, because I was like, there's gonna be. I looked at the list. I was like, oh, and they said the brewers are there and the owners are there. You're gonna have a fucking time of life.
Yeah, I wasn't really sure it would be that many people there. Yeah, which is very nice because it's not actually it's as good as OCD or some shit. Yeah, to see everybody, but just an element of trust behind it as well. You know that if you really like that brewery and they're just going to invite all their friends, that's usually someone in friends.
All their friends. Isn't that a cute name for that reason? But yeah.
And they actually all are mates, and you're going to invite the people that they're mates with because they all kind of make similar things, complementary things. So if you like that, all my friends has their festival, the 5 or the Quebecois releases, that they're going to select the best 5 breweries in Quebec and shoot there because I know Ryan doesn't fuck around. He's going to get the collab with the best who already love their beers. They should get the collab. It's not like that, you know what I'm saying? Their shit is that good. It's just they're the lesser known because they're the youngest of the. So you're trying to get in that, and everyone knows you're making the fucking shit. So you could trust that's going to be sick. Yeah. And those people coming down to I had Herman. I was talking to them from Quebec, and they were just because we were talking about their beer on it. Yeah. They came down for the collab and stuff. And I was like, it's sick. It's really cool that everyone's sort of in this nice little world. So it's, and I imagine that's just the ones that I'm aware of. I bet you there's other.
Oh, there's probably so many
that all
other
work together, different things, and it sort of brings more people in. So it's these brewery run festivals or events where you're sort of involving more of your friends and leveraging. You're a brewery, you could do your own festival, or you could bring 10 other breweries, and you how many followers all of them have. They're all going to post about it. Exactly. So now there's 30,000 to now you've got 500,000 views.
100%. Yeah. Cool. Then everything checked off on your list.
Everything's checked off.
Awesome.
Not bad. Okay, close one for 2 hours. Where can everyone find you online, Tiffany?
You can find me at Liquid's Happiness.
Yep. Everywhere.
Well, on Instagram. That's the place I care. Otherwise, if you're interested in marketing, you can find me at High Season Co.
There you go. High Season CO. Check us out everywhere. Guys, thank you for watching and listening. If you enjoyed the episode, smash the thumbs up. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. Ding. So you know when the new drops. I haven't had anyone say that.
I haven't been on here for so long now. It's you're smash thumbs up, and I'm peace sign. And you're oh shit, wrong side. Yeah, it's the wrong about the other channel.
So follow us over at BAOS Podcast. Check out the long form audio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Give us 5 stars on either of those. That'd be sick.
Hook us up.
And you can leave a comment on Spotify. I'm not sure about Apple, but Spotify for sure you can comment on.
All your loving comments.
It's fire. We appreciate y'all. We'll see you in the next one, guys.
Bye.
Peace.